Hey everybody. Yeah, I guess I'll stop messing around with my camera. I got like two setups here, and I got confused which one was which. And yeah, so here we are. Just gonna do some drawing, hanging out, man. And yeah, we gotta get to the back and bring them out. I didn't expect anybody to show up. So, but I haven't seen this guy in a long time, and it's awesome to always awesome to see you. Eric, what's up, dude?
How are you?
Change. PlayStation 1 is crazy. All right. Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a while. I saw the link pop in there and I figured, I guess I'll hook my camera back up.
Awesome, man. The one I had facing here just stopped working. So then I got a whole new setup. I got a ring light and all types of stuff. And so I decided to cheap out on the camera. I mean, this camera sucks. I can't do really any adjustments.
Dude, you gotta get a Sony ZV-1F.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It works as a beautiful web camera. I'm never going back to a traditional webcam. And I mean, it's expensive because it's not a webcam, but it's not $700-800 either. You can get it for like $400.
Cool.
And you got way more options as far as controlling, because it's a micro three. It's the 3/4, so it's got a decent sensor on it. Lets in a lot of. I've got no lights except my overhead right now, and it's a decent feature.
Cool. Yeah, this one is this one sucks pretty. I mean, I paid $20 for it, so I can't. It's a Logitech.
Yeah, I mean,
let me. I had a budget.
It's $20 and it's working. So.
Well, I kept a good camera for the art stuff. That's what I did. We don't need this in HD. We don't need that. Right? So we did that. We kept a good one over there. So I got a ring light, and that one's working pretty nice.
So how you been? How's the response to Berserker? I see your post, so I'm excited.
Yeah. So it did pretty well. I probably sold maybe about 50 copies.
Nice.
A lot of them were through Twitter. Some of them I even took into my video game store, and I sold maybe about like 20 of them that way, which was kind of cool.
That's cool.
So I sent some out. So right now I'm kind of stuck at 70. Haven't sold much so far. So I'm just gonna hang on to those. And I did a link up. So through Mixam, you can go. I got a link in the description, and I actually updated my link tree, so all my information's on it. You can order a copy for $8 of the second printing. It has a different cover.
Sweet, because I don't have one yet, and I need to do that. And so do you if you're watching and you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, get yourself a copy. It's I think 12 pages, 13, something like this. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is so my cover is vertical. All right, but the book is horizontal.
Oh, okay.
So when I format it on the print on demand, the thumbnail's like this because it's a horizontal book. It's landscape. So I'm like, can I change? Can I upload? You can't upload a custom thumbnail for it.
So where's the spine? Is the spine on the long side or is it on the bottom?
The spine's here. So it's
okay.
I did it like this. So when you put in your long box, the title's on the top.
Yeah.
But otherwise, when you read the book, it's just open. It's landscape.
I gotcha.
So the whole book is landscape. I just did this so when you put it in your backing in your long box, you know what it is.
Sweet.
But because it's landscape format, the thumbnail when you go to order print on demand, it's like this. so it is not crooked. So I don't know if that's going to hurt people ordering it, but at least they do international. So if anybody's overseas and wants to order it, whatever, that's cool. That they don't have to pay exorbitant amounts in shipping because Mixam's supposed to do international shipping and stuff too. So
that's sweet. I didn't know that Mixam did a print-on-demand service.
I think they just started a couple months ago.
That's pretty cool, actually.
The thing is, you have to re-upload. If you use them to print your comic, you have to re-upload everything anyway. You're like, oh, well, okay. You can't. Unless, let me take that back. If I did the first copy, I could just go I could just make it. I think I could just make it print link or whatever they call it, and then they could do
Oh,
it.
okay.
Because I wanted a second edition with a different cover, and it says second edition on the back page. I had to re-upload everything and make it its own separate project, and then they do the PDF proofs and stuff like that. So, but I've been working on issue 2. Been roughly about 4 pages, or say issue 1, the actual first issue. And I roughed a couple pages on that. But it's hard for me to keep interested in it, to be honest. So I don't know if I'm going to maybe do something else and come back to it. I feel like that's kind of...
It is very healthy to switch things up. Like, I live in absolute chaos, so I've got 3 or 4 projects running at any one time. And it definitely does help with the ADHD to be able to switch over to something else for a little while.
Yeah, I get bored easy. I get bored, and I got tons of ideas and tons of stories in my head. I could never so part of me just feels like just doing ash cans to getting those stories out.
I mean, that's a great idea, yeah.
And then just like
throw it up on Webtoon. I mean, it would go over really well on Webtoon.
Yeah, I want to try that because it's horizontal. So I mean, I don't know if that's gonna. But if you have a bunch of empty space on it, like who cares, So yeah, I was thinking about.
I mean, most of the comics on there are just like a panel floating in a bunch of white space.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the moron who puts all this effort into my Webtoon, where there's like this interactive background and everything flows with when you're scrolling. It's like I'm doing way too much work.
That sounds awesome, but working in a verticality, I think, would be something
to tell stories.
Yeah, to tap into of doing that, especially if you're scrolling. There's something that you can do in layouts and stuff that could kind of make it cool. There's a panel I want to do in one of the Berserker books where he's falling, and I want to do it to where you have to turn you're going to turn the book long ways. That he's going to be at the top, and then it's going to show him falling all the way down to the bottom, and it's a big moment in the book. That's the plan. That's going to be the only page that I want to. You're going to have to turn the book and see him at the top, and then him falling down from light into darkness. And
there's a lot more tooling involved. It'd be really cool if that section of the book was a pop out. There's a little mechanism, like a little, a slit in the middle of the page, and you could just pull him down and make him fall.
Yeah, but then if you think about something like Webtoons now, if you were scrolling, and now he's falling while you're scrolling down, darker, and you have to scroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit, he's at the bottom. Like, oh okay, that I think that what I mean. So there's stuff that you can do with that's kind of interesting.
Yep.
And the idea that I had for Berserker, I think always, or even when I started writing it, was to be a storybook. Was to always be like a storybook. Yep. And I did the comic because I thought it was cooler, even though it's not really it's not really a comic. It actually probably is more like a storybook because there aren't panels. There's no panels in it. So each thing would be like a collage. So this is the second page here. Where's it at? Here we go. Let's see if I can turn this down so you can see this because it's blurry as. So this is the second page here. There's no panels. This is him on the shelf, and at the thrift store, and the girl gets him, and then these are little Polaroid pictures of them riding the bike together, and him giving a bath and a party and stuff like that. This side, what I mean. So it's there are no panels. Each page is like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to honestly make it a storybook format, I could just.
I mean, shoot. I would definitely put that up on Amazon a little bit and just do a horizontal cover for it for being on Amazon, and then go through the Amazon publishing and do a hardcover on it because parents want hardcovers because that makes the book more durable, and set it out there because that's gorgeous stuff for young kids to read.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, and it's a cliffhanger because it's a prologue of the book to set you up to get the actual comic book, so it doesn't end. And it's and catch the next episode, whatever.
Right,
exactly. How it ends, So I think parents will be like, well, "What the hell, man?" But so I did this other, the other little Nightcracker, my little Nutcracker night guy that I did. and I think I'm gonna do him as a storybook. So I actually wrote his story about 80% done of how it would be in a kid's book, and I think that's what I want to do next. I think I want to do a storybook, like an actual like storybook with this little guy, because he's real fun to draw, and I think it'll be perfect. And I want to do to where, I don't know, like I'm using Procreate, and I love it, but it's like some of the brushes, like the only brush I like to use to draw stuff is the 6B pencil brush. It always does what I want, and I've tried a bunch of other brushes, so I think I'm just gonna keep that, and that's what I did with Berserker. Kind of looks like a pencil-y, charcoal-y, kind of has texture to it. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing, but everything's gonna be color, and I might do like outlines in like a dark blue or something instead of doing black.
Sweet.
And then and make it kind of look more textured in the color to where it looks like crayon or something like that.
Yeah. So many of our peers in comic books, even though you're doing it digitally, they stick to like the old look of things. So it always looks like it was inked, always looked like it was colored on the inks. But there's no rules now with digital and the way that images can be reproduced on paper. We could literally there's so much room for experimentation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think doing smaller books will allow me to kind of mess around with stuff. Even my little mascot guy, the rabbit dude. Like I still have his book his comic that I wrote, and I want to do his to look like each page is going to be like textured, almost like look like old timey paper.
Nice
was the idea, but it'll be printed, but it'll just be like a layer, so it'll have that sepia tone, like old book type look to it, but it's not actually on that paper. It's going to look like it because it's going to be printed that way.
Yes. No, I follow you because my next project, my next big gig after Merkmaid's done, is a pirate adventure. And I've been going back to a lot of old Golden Age books because there was lots of pirate stories in the Golden Age of comics, and really looking at some of the old masters' brushwork. And I'm trying to, as authentically as I can, adapt my style to something that looks like it might have come out of the Golden Age.
Okay.
That's at least kind of like my thought and my direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got this really great pirate book. It's called Daughter's Revenge. X-Wing floating around on Twitter space. Ross, he's the writer of it. It's a really great story drawn right out of true events of history. So it follows this Captain John, who is with the British military, and falls out of favor, ends up becoming a pirate by the end of the story. So you kind of see like his character. Its first book is all going to be his character arc, but that's one of the things I want to do is like tint and gritty and texture up the paper so that this looks like it's like a pirate tome or something. Like, written on it was drawn on old sheepskins and something.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I think there's opportunity, especially for self-publishing and especially indie books, to do new things. And I think I think stuff like that is really cool. And I think too many people are kind of following status quo instead of kind of pushing it a bit. Not necessarily pushing it in the bad way, but just kind of, I don't know, maybe there may need diversity of ideas and formats and just neat stuff out there. I think that's what
you're absolutely right. People often will just like kind of stay in their comfort zones. They do what they know. So, but I give props to you to like. There's hardly anybody in our space doing something specifically for kids.
Yeah,
there's not a lot, and parents out there are hungry for some non-woke, adventure, just pure adventure stories to inspire children.
Yeah, I was talking to John, John's Longbox when I was on the show.
Yeah.
I was talking. He was kind of saying the same thing, and then the next, I think one of the next one he did, or maybe the next, he bought Dogman. He was talking about Dogman, and then there was like, and one of the things that he was talking about was like, there's nothing for like to get a kid into a comic book. It's to have them like like jump off into something else. So it's like you say, the kids, they read their story, they get read storybooks, but there's nothing to grab them from them into the comic books. There's nothing to grab them from as like, you know what I mean? Like I had the Ninja Turtle Archie comic books. Like there was the Ninja Turtle Archie comic books, and then after that, then you went into Spider-Man and Wolverine and stuff as you aged up. So there was something to kind of fill that gap, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with manga, but if we want to survive, like as the Western comic art form, I think we have to have something to fill that gap. And it's also stuff that's kind of timeless and stays with you. Stuff like it doesn't necessarily have to be dark, but there's a lot of the Ghibli stuff. There's a lot of the the Secret of Nim. There's a lot of that stuff I seen as a kid, and I think our generation had as a kid. It was for kids, but it was written for everybody, and that made it timeless. The Disney Robin Hood, like a lot of that stuff was just freaking good, and you can watch it with your kids, and the parents would watch it too, and you can still back. I'm watching it with my kids now, and it's for my kid, and it's just like it's timeless, it's classic, it's good. That's the stuff we need. We need that stuff. We don't need things that are bogged down by modern politics or modern, thought or anything like that. There's good classic stories that can stand the test of time, and it can get young kids into more, even literature and reading in general, into
Amen.
and looking for things. So it's like, and I realized the oldest that I get, like when I was in the comic books, it was all like the Image stuff. Like when I was growing up in the 90s, it was all like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, and then like X-Men was, of course, X-Men was huge. X-Men was like, and so like that's all the stuff that I read and I collected, and now I feel like that time, like the indie stuff that during that time was really like the cool stuff. Like I totally missed out on Hellboy. Like I never read Hellboy. I never liked his art, Mike Mignola's art. And now I look at it today, working on my own book, and I'm like, this is amazing because it stays with you. It's a style that's so different, and it stays with you. And you'll be just brushing your teeth, and you're just thinking about a fucking Hellboy cover. But, oh man, that was cool, man. I got to use that layout.
I'll tell you what did that for me, because like I never really cared for Mike Mignola's art. I still don't. But I can understand and I can respect the fact that he does what he does, and he's a great storyteller. So for me, traditionally, I've always been really anal retentive about my work, really tight lines. That's another reason why I'm going back to like Golden Age, more brushwork, and just trying to loosen up as much as possible. But I read Daryl Warren Johnson's Transformers.
Ooh.
I got the first volume of it. Holy crap, was it amazing.
Dude, I haven't picked that up yet. I got
his art is rough and raw.
Yes. I got Murder Falcon. Oof. Yeah, Murder Falcon, and I got his Beta Ray Bill. The graphic novel for that too, and yeah, his stuff. I
gotta look for The Moon Is Following Us because I really want to read that too.
Yeah, I heard that like sold out. It already sold out. They're on like a second or third printing already.
Yeah. But his art style is gritty and raw, and very at times it's painterly. The way that he did like the onomatopoeia and all that was just all like very pop artish and very just like he would draw a line and never draw that line again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it works so well that I found myself, and he's such a good storyteller. You can tell he's like us, an old school Transformers fan. So I just I consumed the first volume in one sitting. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I think what a lot of stuff is missing today in storytelling is I think empathy and kind of doing the right thing. And I'm trying to think, is Peter Cullen the voice of Optimus Prime?
Yeah, originally, yeah.
So I will never forget, and I even try to, anytime I write a story or like a hero or something, especially like Berserker is kind of like the epitome of that. Is like he tells the story of he was gonna go audition for Optimus Prime, and his brother who was Marine or Army guy or something like Army guy or whatever was like, hey, like I'm gonna go do this thing, and he go, okay, well, what character are you playing? He's like, I'm playing a hero, and he's like, okay, and so his brother told him, and I don't think I'll ever forget it. and it's such a good, even like good things to live by, was that he's like, don't be a fake hero. His brother said to be strong enough, but be kind. Yeah. Heroes are strong, but they're kind. So be strong enough that you can be kind. And it's like, okay, cool. Like I get, like, yeah, you're the strongest, but it takes more strength to be kind. You know, and I even feel like if whoever was writing Superman grabbed that and just put that on him,
yeah,
that's Superman. Like if you take it, Captain America, that's Captain America. Mainly characters like Superman and but even like with you know, Daniel Warren Johnson's Transformers, when in the beginning when he steps on the deer, and the empathy he has for the deer,
yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, like. Yeah, I don't even own the book, and I still think about that. So yeah, I've been waiting for it to come out.
The story is full of moments like that.
Yes.
You know, you got even with the bots themselves. There are periods where you're like, I cannot believe that just happened. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do any spoilers, but yeah, no, he really draws out character from these characters.
Yeah.
And especially,
have you read his Murder Falcon? Have you read?
No, I haven't read Murder Falcon.
Dude, you got to get Murder Falcon. Okay. It is like, because I think he wrote it and drew it, so he did both. And it's just like it's about like so. Murder Falcon is about like these avatars, these like warriors that come from the heavy. It's very heavy metal based. They come from the heavy, like heavy metal. It's very rock. And there's this one bad guy, and he's able to summon these kaijus from some other place. And he summoned these kaijus to invade Earth. And the guys who fight him come from the heavy. And so the Murder Falcon is linked, and there's like special instruments that you play to power up these avatars. What? So it's about a guy who was part of a band, but he's down on his luck. He's left the band. You know, and he comes across his guitar ends up being the power for Murder Falcon, and he gets chosen to play. It's like, you have to play. So then he hasn't played in years. So now it's him kind of starting to play music again, and then starting to kind of rediscover himself. And then he and then he has to go to like his old bandmates and be like, hey, listen, like he has to reconcile with his past to kind of save the world. And then little by little, they start, you could tell like he was in some relationship and something happened, and then he left the band. So it's him like reconciling with all these people in his past that meant something to him, like a lot to him. And then they end up joining him, and they all, of course, they're old bands, so they all have like a special instrument that has a kaiju that they're fighting other kaijus with, and of course it has that DWJ freaking art that's sick with the freaking the big boom that he wrote with a freaking brush on the kind of thing, and the writing is like, dude, it made me cry twice. Like I almost cried twice. I just shoved it down deep in. I'm probably going to have an aneurysm in 10 years. I just shoved it back inside my body. I was like, no, we can't. I'm sitting there reading it. My wife and my kid are there playing. I'm reading it. And I'm like, I can't just start crying. You're going to be like, what's wrong with you? I don't want to explain this to him. So I just shoved it. Oh, man, deep down inside. I just balled it up and shoved it down like a man. That's probably going to turn into cancer or something later. But it was so good, and it was his stuff, and it's like, at first I'm like, yeah, what? But then when you read it, like his writing on top of his art is so damn good. It's I like what he does with he takes the traditional Saturday morning G1 story and comes at it from the aspect of a 45-year-old family. Okay, that sounds great.
I mean, when like we were kids. Hey, I got some M40s. I'm going to take my G.I. Joes and shit. So, yeah, you can expect some of that.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
It was powerful stuff.
Yeah, I gotta scoop that up. I don't order anything usually. The only thing I ordered was Murder Falcon because it was on Amazon on sale, and they have a hardcover one that's a collected, so I got the hardcover one on my shelf there. But usually I just go to my comic shop, be like, hey man, can you get me this? That's how I got the Headloppers. I was like, hey, you got volume 1? Do you got volume 1? He's like, I can order it. So, okay, cool, you order me volume 1. And he's like, I got volume 1, 2, and 3. Do you want them? I said, yeah. I said, give it to me. It's like, in case you want it, it's like, yeah, I'll buy them all right now. So that's another one that's pretty neat. That I love that guy's. I can't remember his Andrew McLean, I think. His art style is so sick, and just so different. And it's him. You see his style. And you're like, hey, that's that guy. That's him. His stuff is really cool.
I really try to get stuff from local comic shops around me as much as I can. There's one that I stop at on my way back from my 2-day-a-week day job. And I'll pick up my wife in Southfield. And on the way, there's Comic City, so I'll go in there. And I try to go in there at least every other Wednesday. Make sure that I'm buying from a comic store as much as I can.
Yeah, I haven't been able to stop by in a month, and I'm sure he's probably got a stack for me because I was like, he's like, I can hold stuff. I'm like, okay, do the Conans for me, do Fire and Ice, give me Petrol Head, do that new Popeye that came out. Like, I'm just, dude, I'm probably gonna walk in there.
I gotta get that new Popeye. I did finish reading this. Holy crap, this is amazing.
Oh yeah, I gotta pick that one up. I skimmed it while I was there, but it wasn't in the budget because I already had too much stuff.
Yeah, no, this is tight. Like what Matt and let's see, was it Matt and Matt? But they're both named Matt. Yeah, Matt Moylan and Matt Weldon.
Yeah,
you could tell they put a lot of time into Final Fight.
And it's not the typical like art style that you would see that stuff in. You know, it's very very Western and very different, but like you're like, oh, man, this looks kind of weird, and then you start thumbing through it, and I think it's either a place where Haggard either does like a lariat or like a freaking pile driver, and I think it might be a 2-page spread. It's one, or maybe he does both. But I skimmed it and I saw that, and I was like, dude, I gotta get this book, man.
So Mad Cave really impressed me when it came to Dick Tracy, so I might give the Flash Gordon a try.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even know that the Cellverse was going to make comics too, because they got a bunch of old 80s toy licenses.
Okay.
And I met him at Transformers convention. Was it last year? It was either last year or the year before that, down in Nashville. And he had just acquired the license and was working on some new versions of those old RoboForce toys. I didn't know they were going to do comics, so I got to give this one a try.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And then somebody bought and brought back EC Comics, so here's their science fiction offering.
Oh, cool. Are those like the old ones? Or are those like new?
It's new, but it's in that old storytelling style of EC Comics. So I give those a read.
Hey, Looniverse. Yeah, we're just here talking comics and art, man. So that's pretty much what I was going to draw something. I forgot what I was going to do. I wrote the outline to the Nightcracker story, and I don't know where I put it. I had a little book that I was a little like, it's like a little junky sketchbook you'd get at like the hobby shops, you know. And I was like writing all my notes in there and stuff, and I did an outline, and I was trying to find it, and that's kind of what I remember. I think I'm gonna do some layouts for that, because I think it's gonna be, for a storybook, you'll just have like one neat image with words under it, and I feel like I can do that. I could do that all day compared to like a comic book. And I think put out a kid. I always want to do a kid's book, and now it's gonna seem like I'm just copying Skunk because he's doing his kid's book. I was like, oh man, which I gotta get me that one too. That one looks the Splash story he's doing looks, and it's so good. Yeah, we'll try and rough. I mean, I've been doing some other side projects, so that's been kind of neat. Like being hired to do art. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to do it all the time, but it still was cool. So Phil, on his Psycho Slumber, he put up my sketch cards. I did 3 sketch cards for the Psycho Slumber
Sweet
thing. So I did 2 of Krim and then 1 of Jazz. Of course, you put, I understand. Like, I gave him to him kind of a little bit late, but compared to like Jason Krager and Rich Ayala, and you should have gotten done mine first.
Right?
I'm like, I got all these heavy hitters that are amazing, and then now here comes this schlub. Look at these cards. Somebody please buy them. I'm like, oh god, dude.
I managed to finish up the Cocaine Shark, so that's done.
Oh, nice.
And as soon as it's done being lettered, that's going to go out digitally to all the backers of the Merkmaid book. So you guys will actually get something in your hands because we know we're late. I hate being late, but I also enjoy paying bills. So
Yeah.
I had to take some paying work, which is really going to pay off for me in my career long-term wise.
That's good.
I'm really looking forward to Achromatic Chronicles Green. That's going to drop, I think, next week.
Okay.
On Rip Ascend. And that was a mountain. That was 130 pages.
Jeez.
It was about 5.5 months.
Wow, dude. What's up with these dang YouTubers doing these big ass books?
I know, man. It's like, have you heard of 32 pages? You can tell a story in 32 pages. It's wonderful.
Wow. Did you say 32 pages or 132?
Right, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's a hefty book then, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, well, I mean, the first chapter, which I didn't do, that was 250 pages.
Oh, my God.
So the preceding chapters are all going to be about 130, 150 until the story is all told. And it's such a beautiful story. It's a kid's book again.
Yeah.
Children discovering color, discovering that they have a purpose. Super wholesome stuff. And I do love Jay a lot, Drunk 3PO. He's a great human being and his heart's in the right spot.
That's good. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, I don't know. I feel like, one thing I was worried about is that people were going to kind of follow in Eric July's footsteps and like YouTubers and being like, oh, I could do a cash grab and do a shitty comic book and put it out and my audience will buy it. And that's that's my biggest fear. But it sounds like, I mean, kudos to Eric July for putting. I will always respect him in the fact that he put his money where his mouth is and made a comic book. You know what I mean? Considering that he talked about shitty comic books for so long and kind of built his audience on it. So he did something himself and he's sticking with it and stuff. So I can't fault the guy. Whether the books are for me or not, it doesn't matter. I think
Horseman looks great. I'm going to pick that up.
Okay.
Because I know Chuck Dixon can write a good story. And it looks like a lot of fun.
I did a Horseman. Where's it at? I think I did this on by drawing this. I think I might have did on the last art department that I did. Oh, I don't know where he's at now. I know where my Horseman went. I think he galloped away. I got another one in here in front of me that isn't. Oh yeah, here he is. I don't know if he's gonna show up. I've been enjoying doing pencils with like this red pencil. These these red correction pencils.
Yeah,
are really fun.
Those are fun to draw with.
Yeah. Let's see.
And the nice thing about drawing in colored pencil is that it forces you to, you're not going to be able to erase very well. So it forces you to have a lighter hand. And
see if that shows up. Funny. There's my Horseman.
That's great.
It's like, it's Horseman the bar. Oh, I did another one here too. I posted these two. You've probably seen these. You're just laughing to be nice.
I don't know. I've been trying to do a lot of engagement farming, and I'm noticing I'm not seeing a lot of my homies as much anymore.
He's like, I'm mad because I don't have hands. He has hooves. He doesn't have hands. He's Horseman the Barbarian. So there you go. That was fun to draw.
Great stuff.
That's one thing I forget, and I have to remind myself of doing, like when I'm drawing Berserk. It was like I get caught up in like trying to like, I don't know, maybe draw too. I don't know. I don't want to say realistic because my style isn't realistic, but too realistic and not bend and stretch the figures as much.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back and tooling with his design and tooling with the way I draw him because he's supposed to be like when I first started drawing him, he's supposed to be like Mickey Mouse, like circle lines. You know what I mean? Like da. Yeah. You follow these steps. The same proportions, the same every time you draw this guy. And I feel like I've gotten away from that and started doing more like I'm trying to draw like John Buscema with drawing Conan instead of drawing Mickey Mouse. Oh. Yeah, it's that kind of the idea.
You're going all Stephen Platt with the veins and stuff. Like, wait a minute, he's got fur. What am I doing?
So, but then I draw the girl, and the girl's the same. The girl's like drawing Mickey Mouse, circle, bean body, scraggly, long arms. She's kind of like olive oil, and that's how I always draw her. That's just how she always comes out. And then I'm here drawing Berserker, trying to make him look all, it's like, no, he got to be the same. Like, he has to be the same properties. Everything else I draw is all cartoony, but then I start drawing Berserker, and I just start freaking like, It's like, no.
I must over-render this.
Yeah. And I did a couple of neat ones that turned out pretty good, and so I'm going back and I haven't done anything. It's a good thing I really haven't done too much with Berserker because I keep going and changing shit. I'm like, oh, his head's got to be like this now because it looks weird. Like I was just doing a circle and he'd have a fat head, so now it's like a square. It's like, okay, this is the shape that I need. So
it's been so long since I've drawn Dinosaur Man. I feel terrible. I feel like I've abandoned him, but. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about completing the webtoon story and getting a printed book done. So it's kicked down the can a little bit, down the road a little bit, but it'll happen.
Would you have to reformat it to fit a comic book, or is it pretty much okay?
My strategy is that the webtoon stays on webtoon as the doorway for the audience. And then the books can stand on their own.
Oh, okay, so each book would be an adventure.
Yeah, so for the first book, it's going to be at least 32, maybe 48 pages, and there'll be a little bit of a summary of the origin story. With for more, with little Stanley type callbacks.
Yeah,
see the webtoon for more, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It would just like a nice summary, you know what I mean? This is like, well, you know what I mean? They used to do like when you open, I can't remember the latest book that maybe where you open it and it gives you like da 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 and the inside cover. Okay, that's Dinosaur Man. Now he's on an adventure.
Yep.
I mean, in every episode they wouldn't tell you who Batman is. You know what I mean? I mean, you're kind of supposed to know, but when you watch, when you watch the animated series, they're like, this is Batman. His parents are dead. You could just watch it and be like, okay. I think that's missing too. I think that's a great a great thing to do, like episodes. Like I think we need to get back to that format especially for indie comics, because you're not pressured to do, you know what I mean? I want to have Dinosaur Man fight pirates. Who cares? Boom, he's fighting squid pirates. Who gives a shit? It doesn't. Okay, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be linked to whatever. And then that's what I remember. Like even like the Marvel stories were like, if you had a 5-issue like freaking story, it was like big. It was like Dark Phoenix saga. Well, how many issues does it go? Oh, it goes across 8 issues. All right, like oh man. Now they're like, you got to buy 50 books.
Yeah, I don't think we can get away with that.
Yeah, it's like just do a cool little nice thing and self-contained story, like a cartoon, like a Saturday morning cartoon. Boom, and you're done. This was me after I took out Hellboy from my library. They had this giant tome, which I'm gonna try and see if I can buy it. I think these were like $50. This is Hellboy Volume 2.
Dang,
Look at this.
That's thick.
And I think they have this for Madman too. Mike Allred's Madman. These are like library editions.
That's a comic that artists really need to learn to study.
Yeah.
Because his storytelling, there's no dialogue, no balloons.
Even his layouts and just his composition for just something like that.
No. That's
It's just really cool, even though like the style. And so I'm trying to incorporate like heavy. I was experimenting, trying to incorporate heavy blacks into Berserker, kind of the same heavy blacks with the cartoon style. Because I don't know if I've seen that, to be honest. But somewhere they grab like something like a Disney Fleischer style and put heavy blacks in it, like Mignola.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I just blacked out his lower body. Make this smaller or make this lighter.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
I like that.
I might do that. That might be kind of neat. And this is me drawing him more cartoony like he's supposed to be. I might ditch the axe too.
Really?
Yeah, because I was thinking about, let's say if I wanted, thinking about more like the Nightcracker and having that book that can bridge the gap, giving him a hammer instead, like a war hammer, and then I could do
Nice.
like cartoony, you know what I mean, when he's hitting stuff, a
Funk.
lot of squish, squish and stretch stuff, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
that'd
yeah.
be kind of cool. So I bet I drew him like once or twice with a hammer here. And I was like, well, because he's right in the first like 2 pages of Berserker, he's like cutting worms in half, And I was like, okay. So I'm like, well, and if I do it, like I had like big like gore,
Yeah.
big gore, yeah, is like monster guts, but it's just like all like it would be like slimy stuff, but like it might be too much, So
I think it just depends on what your age range you're aiming for at. Like,
yeah, I mean, my daughter looks at it and she's 6 and she's like, yeah, sure. It doesn't bother her at all. There's no, because there's no people, there's no,
right.
either he's fighting skeletons or like monsters, there's no actual people. So it's not like,
That's a decent age for kids starting to be able to really separate fantasy from reality.
this was Drew's. Okay, this is gonna show up. I should just put it on my dang desk and do some drawing and see if he shows up here. This is him with the hammer.
Nice.
So I was like, well, the hammer's kind of neat. I don't know if we see enough hammers. So I was like, all right, just give him a big old mallet and just have him smash stuff. I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. So I'm playing with the idea of doing that. Again, it's good that I'm working digital and haven't done anything yet, really, except roughs, because I could always change it.
Yep.
But then the Nightcracker guy has a sword, so I'm just like, well, I guess.
So what's the idea behind the Nightcracker?
So it's going to be a holiday story. It's going to be a Christmas story.
Nice.
It'll take place from Christmas. I drew this. It's an enemy that I designed, one of like the bosses, quote unquote, for Berserker, and I think it's too cool to like have him fight that thing. So it's a spider boss that has masks, like all these masks on it, and it controls all these puppets that wear these masks with the web. So he's fighting like little evil Pinocchios. Is what they look like, And it's going to be like one of the things that Berserker will fight when he goes into like this old manor when he's going. It's pretty much, it's almost like the map of Castlevania for the Nintendo. He starts here.
So like the spiders or the strings on the marionettes.
Yes,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
So I was like, oh, cool, like that's cool. It's like, and then I did the little Nightcracker, and I had that idea, and I was like, that spider character, that spider enemy, she needs to be the freaking like the head honcho of a story, because her design just came out so neat, and that idea was so cool. And you can fight puppets and beat them up, and it doesn't matter. There's no gore, there's no nothing to it. So for a kid's story, I think that'll be like, for a storybook, that'll be really cool. So then I was like, okay, well, the Nightcracker, that's probably going to be like the big bad of the Nightcracker story, and it's the same. It's the Nightcracker is like the same concept of Berserker. So the concept of the whole lore of like the Berserker in that world is that you have, nightmares, all our dreams. We all have pocket realms that our dreams take place in, and these pocket realms are enhanced by creatures of our imagination, fairies and little dwarves and unicorns and whatever stuff, talking race cars, it doesn't matter, right? And but sometimes nightmares manifest, and they manifest through maybe like our doubt or our fears, or maybe some kind of traumatic event or something, and they would manifest into a nightmare being. And sometimes those beings are so strong that they can take over that dream dimension of that kid. And if they're really strong, they could come and they can affect them in the real world. So in Berserker, there's a big bad guy that takes over the girl's dream world and turns it into the nightmare realm, and then actually pulls her in, and actually pulls her soul in. So in our world, she's sleeping in the bed, but in her soul's in the nightmare realm, and he's just been this evil nightmare has actually been going and taking multiple souls of kids and trying to reform himself, pretty much. And so so Berserker. So the way the world works is you have like watchers, and the watchers are like pets. So every kid, like, and this came from my daughter. My cat sleeps with my daughter every night.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids who have pets, they're the watchers. They're the ones who watch and they ward off. They ward off the nightmares. But every once in a while, a nightmare is strong enough to take a kid. So then the watcher has to choose a champion. So the watcher in Berserker, spoiler, it's the cat. He chooses the bear. He chooses the old bear, which is what we call him in the book. What I call him in the book is he's an old raggedy ass bear. He has to choose the champion, and that champion has to have some kind of emotional connection to the child.
Right.
Because if a human enters the nightmare, humans can't really enter the nightmare realm, and if they do, if they're there for so long, they become a spirit. They're stuck there. They're so stuck. And so it has to be an object, an inanimate object. It could be a toy. It could be a so far Berserker's a stuffed animal. The Nightcracker, he's a Nutcracker toy. He's a little Nutcracker guy. So he has to go, and when he enters the realm, he becomes the Berserker. So the same things with the Nightcracker. That the story is that the spider being. I had notes. I don't know what the hell I do with them. They're still right here. The spider being pretty much takes the piece of the kid. The kid's sick, and this kid is sick, and he's been to tons of hospitals. They can't figure out why. They don't know. They do all these tests. They don't know. Well, this nightmare that manifested in his dream realm took a piece of his heart and is using that and is feeding on that piece of the heart to stay alive and to make all the little puppet minions. Wow. In order to go steal more pieces of the heart in order for it to stay alive. And then eventually he'll probably like go and jump to another kid's nightmare or dream realm and just keep going and going and going. So the quest of the Nightcracker is to go and get the piece of the kid's heart back, which is the star heart. It's a little little wispy, cute little thing that I drew.
Yeah.
He has to go get it. And so the Nightcracker is a little a Nutcracker guy, like a Nutcracker little guy. And I made it, and I was like, yeah, Nutcracker or whatever. I had a little Nutcracker puppet as a kid. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. Like, when I was like 4 years old, it was made out of wood, and you had a string on the top and a string on the bottom. And when you pulled them both, he like waved his arms and legs. And so, like, when I was like, oh, dude, like, that was like my favorite, like, ornament. It was an ornament, but it was made out of wood. Mm-hmm. And but pretty soon I was like, okay, cool. So the kid's grandpa make the Nutcracker together, and his grandpa isn't with us anymore. So that's it's this very sentimental thing for him. So that's the Nightcracker is the Nutcracker that him and his grandpa made that enters the nightmare realm. And he's like, and it's very so Berserker is like, the theme of Berserker is very like barbarian and whatever. Nightcracker is very night-like, but it's also very like stars and meteor. Like, he has a star on his shield, and he comes like so Berserker enters through like a portal, and then lightning hits, and his axe appears, and he grabs his axe. Nightcracker shows up in a meteor. He comes in a meteor, and the meteor splits open, and he comes out of the meteor. And he has the star. His sword is like a starlight sword, and it glows when he holds it up, so it could show him, where the star heart is, and it lights his way. So his sword is like his torch, and it glows blue. Very freaking Lord of the Rings Hobbit. But it acts as a torch, because I'm like, well, what if he needed a light? It's like, well, what if what if the sword is the light? So his sword lights up, and then I can't remember if I did a little thing. I was gonna do like a thing on the hilt she would hold it up almost like the freaking Sword of Omens, and it would tell him where the star heart is. But I figured he would just point the sword or something, and the sword, instead of having to do an extra thing or whatever. And then he has the shield, and then he has the banner. So nobody's seeing this. Like, whoever's watching, there's like 3 people. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So he has the banner on his back. The banner on his back is like his extraction. When he finds the star heart, he has the shield. So when he finds the star heart, the whole point of the shield is to store the star heart in the shield. So he puts the star heart in the shield, and he has to raise the banner and put the banner to open the portal so he can leave with the star heart. So that's like all like
that is a gorgeous story. Holy crap!
So I didn't think I was going to do that as a storybook, dude. I'm like, well, I'm just going to do that.
No, just you telling me the story touches me, so I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so that's what I'm like. I'm torn. I want to work on Berserker more, but I really want to do this story as a storybook.
Yeah, you should work on the Starcracker, because you're going to get about halfway through that, and you're going to feel the fire to do Berserker again. Mm-hmm. And it'll feel fresh and original.
Yeah, because that was that idea. I had, you know what I mean. There's there's the Berserker stories, which are probably like 5 volumes. I had another one that was like about a kid and his dad's a robot. Like fucking, I had another one that was like about like that's another story. Then I had one that I wanted to do where it was like a robot fighting vampires, called Metal Fist Motherfucker, which is going to be drawn all rough and punk like and shit, And it's like, oh man. So I have all these stories that I like been doodling and writing down and stuff, but it's like, part of me feels like I was like, hey man, like I almost feel like I should write them and then like see if I could get somebody to do the art and put them out there. So
that's the thing. When you get to a certain level professionally, it's like, I can't do all this myself. I got to start trusting other people with my vision. That's a hard thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, or just make them little mini comics and just...
you draw what you can and you're going out there.
I could do a 15-page story thing like that. Okay, cool. All right, And so it was just kind of be like the not that it ever come out, but it's going to be like a Frankenstein where you have this guy and he's dying and it's like the apocalypse. Mm-hmm. Almost kind of like I Am Legend.
Well, most of the old books from the Golden Age were anthologies. Mm-hmm. Where you had like horror tales, and there'd be 3 or 4 different stories in that. Nice and short. That's kind of how I'm approaching the whole Cocaine Shark character that came out of the Merkmaid. So we have the standalone Cocaine Shark book, and I got 6 a.m. and I got my boy Big Boy Robo to do a couple of 2-pagers, so that we could fill it out a little bit and give the backers a little bit more. And they got some brilliant stuff in the works. And it's just, you just have to have a shark hunting drug dealers to get blow. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Anything else is up to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it creates a nice little sandbox because, so I've already kind of got an idea for what I want to do for Cocaine Shark 2. Everything has to happen in Miami. So we'll do Cocaine Shark Book 2, Miami Booger Sugar. Oh. And you just got to take place in Miami and involve a shark hunting drug dealers.
There you go.
That's a complete creative freedom. Mm-hmm. So maybe with what you got going there, you take 3 of your kids' stuff, the Cracker Jack and the Berserker, and maybe 1 more. You put out an anthology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a cool idea. Yeah. Because they're all kind of like it's like all the dream stuff is kind of the same world.
Yeah, it sounds like you have like a complete universe there with all the dream stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole like lore written to it, and of course, and then you could spin off from there because it's just like you were saying with the shark, like all you have to have is the shark and the drugs, and he can be. You can tell any story off of that. It's the same thing. With the dream sequence stuff that I do with the Berserker and the Berserker world. It's like all I have to have is a nightmare, a different realm, and some kind of champion for it, and I could tell. Mm-hmm. I could tell anyone. I could tell whatever stories. Even there's, I got outlines for when the girl gets older. Well, how does that affect her when she's older? Berserker. Mm-hmm. That whole thing happens to her, right? It's like, well, what happens to her when she's older? What happens when she has kids? What happens when, what happens to the bear? Why is Berserker like the way he is? Because he's old bear. She's not his first owner. He finds him at a right. He's missing an eye, and so it's like, okay, so she gets this old bear, and he's soft, so she takes him home. Okay, well, what happened to? Why was he at the thrift store? Well, we'll get into that in Berserker, one of the other volumes. But then it's like, okay, and so like the idea is that Berserker is like the Conan of this this dream world thing, to where like his legend will spread, and other champions will know of him, and he'll almost be like, how be like, oh, you know what I mean, like, oh man, the champion of whatever, you know what I mean. And you'll see statues maybe of him around other places. You could
do something where like the girl is older, has a daughter of her own, and maybe the daughter's in a coma. And she's got to take the old bear out of the box. Can you please go get my girl?
Yeah. She's gonna be her own. She's gonna become her own thing, which is gonna be, which I'm excited to like do. Which I'm like super excited to do. You know, because of what happens in like the Berserker story. When she comes out, she's not gonna be like just a normal person. She's gonna be able to hop into dreams. Is what's gonna happen.
Ooh.
So the idea is that, again, nobody's watching this, so who gives a shit? She's gonna hop into dreams, and she's gonna be they're gonna call her the Huntress of the Dark, and she's gonna be able to hop in the dreams. She's gonna hunt night. She's gonna have a cool spear and almost be like a kind of like a Conan, but a girl. You know, with some paint on, and like dressed like a barbarian with a spear and a shield, and she's gonna be the Huntress of the Dark. She's gonna ride she's gonna have a thing that she rides, like some kind of animal that she's gonna ride, and she's gonna be the Huntress of the Dark, and she's gonna she's gonna kill these nightmares. She's gonna be able to hop into dreams and save kids and kill these nightmares and stuff.
Wow.
So the idea is that Berserker will train her in a pocket dimension when she's little, like after this all happens, and he's gonna train her until she's an adult, and she's gonna be able to hop around. And so like Berserker's almost gonna be like Berserker and her are almost gonna be like this freaking, to like the other champions are going to be like gods, like myths, like Thor and freaking, you know, Athena, and like that's kind of what they're gonna be like.
Yeah, they're the legends of the dream world.
So there's a whole like, yeah, man, I got ideas.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I'm here for you. I love it.
So, but it honestly, it's nice to talk about it too, because I'm gonna tell my wife. She's like, yeah, okay, like,
yeah, I know.
You got something good when you start telling people stuff and they feel it, and it's like, okay, that's because I just don't want to write crap or put out crap. Yeah, I want it to mean something, and I think I want it to resonate with people. So it's like, so when I was telling Lynn, my wife, about like the Berserker story and like where he came from and stuff, she's like, she was driving, she's like, I gotta pull over because I'm starting to like get teary-eyed. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't want to tell you because I was like, oh, but you pushed me and then I told you. And she's like, oh, so there's a reason Berserker is the way he is, and that's due to his past and stuff, which I intend on revealing later in his, of course, we're gonna do a classic where like he hits the low point and then we get the origin story.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, that's just, you think back to all the stuff that really stuck with us as kids. Like you said earlier, it was written so that adults could enjoy it too. And there's so many levels to the story, like Secret of Nim, the Dark Crystal, all the heroes. They do that hero's journey. They have to have that low point.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes them identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
These characters that people do now in stories where the person's untouchable and solves everything, nobody can relate to that.
And it's almost like they make them spiteful for some reason.
Right?
They want to make them spiteful, or they want to make it because it's their truth or their right, or they want to make the bad guy sympathetic. Like, how about it's just a freaking bad? How about they're just evil? Like, how about how about we just do that? Because there's just evil.
I don't get it.
The
only thing I can think of is that the people who are behind this, they have such repressed childhood trauma. That's how this is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's no father in the home or being abused, you have no idea what somebody is going through because we all put on, we all naturally just put on a mask to kind of protect ourselves. And the more someone has gone through some sort of neglectful situation or harmful, the more walls they build up. And I think a lot of this stuff that's like this kind of an overreaction is an outcome of that type of trauma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could also, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know. I blame therapy I think, I think too many people take therapy when they don't need it, and they believe that everybody needs to fucking hear their problems.
No, yeah, no, I understand that perfectly too. Like, because we can't be honest with ourselves. Like, I'm getting therapy right now and just having a cool conversation.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's there for people and stuff, which is fine.
Staying here too long, you go crazy.
Yeah, but it's like, oh well, and then everything is the trauma. Everything is blown out of proportion. I mean, I see young people all the time. It's just like, oh god, and it's like, well, now I gotta, and so they have to impose their stuff on everything they do. You know what I mean? They have to. Grab all the negatives and all these things and be like, well, what if, I don't know, but they want to make bad guys good guys for some reason and make good guys idiots. Like, I feel like that's a trend too now, and I don't know if they do it on purpose or maybe they're just that horrible at writing that they don't understand, like you said, the hero's journey and like maybe they don't know what makes a good person a good person. Maybe they haven't
they never had a role model for that. Maybe they feel so bad on the inside that they got to make something worse so that they feel normal.
Yeah, it's bizarre. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. That's wrong. Like, maybe nobody was there to tell them that. Well, if the bad guy is, well, then maybe it's like, is that bad guy like killing people? Like, is that bad guy like I keep thinking of the Acolyte, how goofy that was, and I haven't seen it, but I just was watching some of the channels that I watch. And they're not like drama stream channels, but they'll like talk about like, hey, like this was bad and this is why. And so I watch it because I'm curious to see what these writers think. Because it's like here you have like heroes and like the Jedi, and they're there, the guardians of truth and justice around the galaxy, and so of course they got to make them. They want you to sympathize with, I guess, the bad guys and the witches and stuff. So it's like, okay, I guess, but then they have to make the heroes dumb and kind of make them not heroes because otherwise their whole idea falls flat. And if that's the case, well, then what's a bad idea? Don't do it. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand it, and I think I'm with you. I think there was no one around to kind of lead people and show them that what it takes to be a hero and what it means to sacrifice, and because a lot of it are just like weirdo, like I don't know, like I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like people that with no kids and they don't like kids and they don't understand children and like right and wrong and like trying to teach people and teach somebody, impart your knowledge and morals to somebody younger than you. And that kind of situation, just being a parent kind of puts you in this thing that's kind of like where you have to be that. You kind of have to be a little bit of a hero. You have to, try and raise a good person that can contribute to society. I mean, I have my daughter 6 years old, but I have a younger brother and sister that I raised when they were kids. So it's like, it's always that trying to like right from wrong, impart that knowledge. And I think because you have to like kind of impart that knowledge and do that kind of as a parent or an older sibling, it's like when you see stuff that doesn't make sense, you're like, well, that's bad, because I wouldn't show that I wouldn't teach my younger brother, my younger sister that. I wouldn't teach my kid that. Like, but they want to keep trying to make that behavior like acceptable for some reason by everybody. But then the people that it's kind of not supposed to be acceptable by, or the people that's supposed to be acceptable by, they don't want you to. So here they'll make the Jedis bad guys and they'll make them murderers so you could empathize with the bad guys. But then they shit on the Punisher because he does what he does, when that's the whole point. Like, that's who he is. Like, that's the point of the character. He's not he's an outlier. He's not, so the same people that will want you to sympathize with the bad guys and want to, with Kylo Ren, the Empire and whatever, will turn around and shit on the Punisher for killing criminals. But you praise the bad guys for killing the Jedi and the good guys.
Now you're getting into the Marxist principle of inversion, where you make the bad good and the good bad. Just to like kind of just
okay.
It's deconstructivism. Like, it's like postmodern bullcrap. Is you gotta tear something down all the way to the ashes and rebuild it in your own image, basically.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I don't know much about that stuff. I try not to get into any of that stuff, to be honest, just because I feel like it could be a rabbit hole that I'll start seeing everything as everybody's a commie. Like I had to like subscribe. I had to like get rid of like all the politics stuff off my Twitter. I mean, just because I was keeping up with it, just to find out what's happening, and then it just kept bombarding, and then you know what I mean, and then it's just like, then I'm just here. I'm over here like, man, I don't think that's the same Biden we elected. I think that's another dude, man. I think Biden died. That guy looks totally different. And I'm just like, all right, like, let's just.
Where did the tattoo on his arm go? Where did the tattoo on his?
Dude, his earlobes, bro. His earlobes are attached now. It's like, dude, that doesn't. Well, it's from bad surgery. He's like, no, they don't cut your earlobes off, bro, and make them attached. Like, but I'm like, all right, man. Like, I don't even wanna. We'll just freaking. Okay, unfollow this stuff. Let's get rid of it.
No, our reality has just gotten so mixed up that it's like, I don't know what's real. I don't think I care anymore. It's just all too stupid.
It's kind of like, what is, well, the thing that bothers me is I see something, and when the news is like, oh, you didn't see that, it's like, no, man. That's so bad. You guys are shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just gonna go over here and work on my book. I'm gonna mute all this stuff. Get out of all this stuff. Even like the drama in comics. Like I was like, there's creators I followed, man, and I'm just like, listen, I'll see something, man, and man, my mouth gets me in trouble sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna mute them, or okay, I'm gonna shut off, which is great now. You could shut off the retweets. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna shut off retweets. So this person, I like following this guy. I like his art. I'm gonna shut off his retweets, and then it drips into his stuff, and let me mute him. And then like somehow his stuff gets in still. Their stuff will still get in your stuff, and so I'm like, I gotta block them. Like, I'm sick of seeing anything. Like, I don't want anything to do with these creators because they went off the deep end and they're whatever, and it sucks. Right. But it's like, I don't need that because I don't need to be involved in that because I'm going to say something and get in trouble. So I'm trying to keep myself out of trouble by muting people, man. And then even in like trending, I'm like, nope, don't want to see that. Nope, don't want to get rid of that. Get rid of that out of my trending. And it sucks because everything's around freaking Twitter. And it's like the most thing interacted in that me as a creator that I get. So you kind of have to play this game, but at the same time, it's like I'm trying not to get sucked into this BS and just be like, okay, listen, I deleted 7 tweets I was gonna so far today. Like, I gotta get off. I gotta not talk to anybody.
I tell you, now, since I've started to do the reply guy thing, I'm noticing that the algorithm is feeding me a lot of the ones that I reply to, which is what it's supposed to do. And then I'm seeing a lot of accounts that I've never seen before because they're related and associated. So it's still I have to like make sure, okay, my homeboys, I need to go back and make sure and start commenting on their stuff just so I can kind of keep the algorithm fresh.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm seeing some growth, and hopefully I can get to monetization. Mm-hmm. I'm close to 1 million impressions over a 3-month period. Mm-hmm. And you got to get to 3 million impressions in a 3-month period to be monetized. So,
wow. Okay. Huh. And you have to be. Are you paying for the premium?
I do pay for premium because that's a marketing expense that I can write off of my taxes.
Is that worth it? You think?
I think it's definitely worth it.
Okay.
And I might go to Premium Plus because you can do larger form articles.
Okay.
And I really want to use that for storytelling because I've got, I'm like you, I've got tons of stories. Some of them should just be little short stories. Mm-hmm. That might be a really cool thing to throw out there. Maybe do the subscriber thing so people can read the whole thing. I don't know. And just tell a few short stories in article format.
Yeah, that'll be pretty neat because I've been thinking about it. A, being able to edit your tweets is great. And then B, the ads. You can be like, I don't want to see those ads.
Oh yeah, no, the ads are
I'm like, heck yeah, so that's cool. And then I was thinking about that stuff. I just started a Ko-Fi account and I've been messing around with that. So let's see how that works. If anybody sees, nobody's watching, man. If anybody sees this, It's in the link below. I got a subscription tier, the Doodle Bug. Be a Doodle Bug for $8 a month. I'll send you a doodle every month. You know, and there'll be pencil drawings, not like, you know, little crappy doodles, but there'll be actual little pencil drawings of cartoon characters.
Neat.
I usually do those to warm up and things like that. So I'm trying that. You know, I'm trying that, and the reason I'm streaming today is just because I haven't been streaming lately. I just honestly I haven't felt like it. You know, and then sometimes I'll go, you know, send the link out, and then nobody comes on, and I'm just like, well, I'd rather just hang out with my wife. The freaking, you know, like, all right. Like, I was gonna come on last Thursday, but we ordered. So me and the family, me and my wife, and my mother-in-law, because my mother-in-law stays with us too, and my daughter, we all play that Disney Lorcana card game together, which is fun, and the art on it's awesome. So that's kind of like another reason too. And so we got a box of the new one that came, the new set that came out, and so that box came in. So like, okay, we're gonna open all the packs. We're gonna mess around with some decks, build some decks, and we'll play a couple games and stuff. So last Thursday, I was like, I have to play Lorcana with the family. Nobody said they were coming in. That's fine.
See, I mean, that's just so beautiful. I could never get anything going like that with my daughter and my wife. They just did not have the interest level in it. And
I feel like the Disney thing, like it's something about it being Disney, and it's easy that even when I go to like the local card shop, they're like, yeah, families are playing this game, because you could do like 4 players, like you could do 6 players, like you can do, like it's kind of set up to where you can have multiple players. They even came out with one that that's I think it's called an Illumineers quest, and you fight Ursula, and Ursula has her own deck for her own things, and then you could play up to 4 players fighting her. And then she has her own deck that you draw a card and you play her a certain way, and then like whoever gets up to so the whole point's to get up to 20 lore. That's how you win the round. And to get up to lore, each character that you have has like a little lore triangle on them. And when it's your turn, you can either it's almost like Magic the Gathering, that you have to turn them to tap them. Well, they're called exerting because they can't use tap, but you exert them, and either you can like attack with them, or you can quest with them. But when they quest and attack, when they become exerted, they're vulnerable, and so they can be attacked when they're exerted. And of course, there's other ways to get around that, you know, your bodyguards and other special stuff, of course. But the whole point is to get to 20 lore, not to like defeat your opponent, but to get to 20 lore points. So your characters have to quest in order for you to win. So it's not like in Magic where I have to deal 20 damage to you. My characters have to quest, and we have to get 20. You have to get 20 lore in order to win. So it seems like it's like more of a family orientated stuff. And even the art, like I said, the art's cool. You get attachment to the characters too. You know, like, oh man, like I made a Dalmatian deck full of dogs and Dalmatians, because the Dalmatians are cheap. And so like when you build a deck, you can only have to 4 or 1 card is the max in there. It could be different character. It could be the same character. So let's say there's Ariel, but there's Ariel without her voice. Then there's Ariel with the fins, and then there's a bunch of different versions. There's like, you know, whatever. There's like probably Princess of the Sea Ariel that's stronger, and so there's different Ariels. But you can only have up to like 4 of one Ariel card. You know, so even though you have multiple Ariels in there, you have like, you can only have 4 of like one. So like I had 4 of the one with no voice, and I can have 4 of the one with the fin, and they're all different. Well, the Dalmatian puppy is the only card in the series that you could have 99 of in your deck. So you can have, instead of being limited to 4, you can have 99 puppies in your deck.
Okay.
And so it's like, all right, yeah, it makes sense. So I'm like, all right.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's simple. It's pretty simple. And my daughter's 6, so like getting her to like read the card, and she has to do math and strategize and pay attention to what everybody else is doing and stuff. I think it helps her learn that kind of stuff too as well. So I built her a Frozen deck, so she has an Anna and Elsa deck with Olaf and all those guys in it. And you know, she's an aggressive little girl. She's like, I'm attacking everybody. She's always attacking.
That's great.
I'm like, all right, sure, baby, whatever you want to do. Like, but yeah, so we did that instead, you know, instead of me streaming. So it's kind of like if I'm going to if I got nothing going on, I'll stream. But if my wife's like, why don't we watch a show together? I'd be like, yeah, okay. We'll do that.
I don't think we'll lay on our deathbeds and regret not streaming, but we'll definitely regret not spending time with our family.
Yeah. So I kind of do it whenever I can, but I do need to do it more on the Thursdays like I have planned. I think I don't know, maybe I'll do Monday. I don't even know, man. It just sucks because so Thursdays usually I'm work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all day, and then I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. So it's like, when Thursday comes around, I'm on my my third full day of work, just being like, crap. And every morning I got to get up at 6 to take the little one to school.
Yeah,
which is weird because when I was a kid, the elementary kids went to school at 9, and the high school kids went to school early.
Okay,
but down here it's like she's going to school. She's at school before the high school kids, and I was like, you gotta get these damn high school kids up, man. They should get up early because they gotta get ready for the workforce, dude. I don't know what you're talking. Having these kids get like all these, my daughter gets up at 6:15 every morning, man. It's like holy crap! And then she's gonna go to high school, and they're just gonna get her up at. We get up at 7. That's sleeping in. We're like, oh my god! So to try and we do that every, so by the time Thursday comes along, we be getting up every day at 6 o'clock, and then I stream at 10. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I got it in me, to be honest.
I don't have a single day where I can sleep in. It's just you need to sleep in sometime.
Yeah, our sleeping is it's 7 o'clock. We slept in. 7:30, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is us really sleeping in. We're like, oh my god, I feel great. But no, my daughter wakes up at 7:30 and wakes me up. Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, okay. Hey, Hockey, what's going on, man? Feel free if you want, man. Hop in, dude. I posted the link in the.
Come on in.
If you want to come on in, I know he's been working and he has odd hours and stuff, so he might be popping in to say hey, or he might not want to be on camera. What are your thoughts on the Penguin? Why? Why? I seen the trailer. The Penguin show looks good. It looks good. I just don't know why.
I'll give it a shot. I get HBO Max for free from the phone company. So.
Yeah. HBO Max is awesome. They got a lot of good stuff on there. I did see, but I'm quite late, so I didn't want to crash the party. There was no whatever. This says 10 o'clock. I mean, I didn't even know when I started streaming, to be honest. I probably didn't start streaming until 10:30. If you want to come on, you can come on for a bit. I'll probably stay on maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll see. Maybe I'll get some drawing done. I haven't drew anything. I've just been chatting, having a good time. So if you want to come on, Hockey, click the link, dude. Let me know if you need me to send it to you. Yeah, Penguin looks good. It looks good than any right it needs to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Colin Farrell's cool. I honestly wish I wish he had his own show that wasn't the Penguin.
Does it connect to anything? Does it connect to anything prior, or is this another standalone thing? Is it part of the Joker universe? Does it relate to the Gotham show where we didn't get to see Batman?
So this, from what we're probably not gonna. I don't know if we're gonna see Batman. It's about his rise. So but it's tied to the Batman with Robert Pattinson because he played the Penguin.
So that's the universe then now that they're going with. Okay.
Yeah, and the same guy is doing the show too. The same guy who did the Batman movie is doing the show as well.
Okay.
Hey, Hockey, what's up, dude?
Bonjour. Hello.
Bonjour. Hello.
Hey, Pop. Hey, what's going on? Everybody's gonna start rolling in, dude. Okay, cool. Hey, K-Pop. Always nice to see you.
1 second.
The 2023
Batman. The wrong thing, so I'm just fixing that up. There we go.
I wasn't a big fan of that movie, to be honest.
I didn't mind it. I did like the ending, but I didn't mind most of it. So
it was okay. I mean, I think it was hard for me to believe him as Batman, and everybody's like, "Well, he's young Batman," and I'm like, "Listen, I don't believe this guy can beat up 6 people."
Yeah,
and maybe it was the mystique of or how they introduced Keaton Batman, because you look at Keaton Batman, you wouldn't believe that if you look at Keaton, you won't believe that he will beat up. He can't beat up 6 people either. But when you see him as Batman, you believe that he can beat up everybody.
Yeah, because he's bulked out and huge.
So to follow, I think the issue was following. I think who was that guy that was Batman and Snyder stuff? Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck could have been a really badass Batman. I just think they didn't give him good material, to be honest. If he had his own movie, I mean, because he's freaking huge. You don't realize how big Ben Affleck is. Yeah, and I think I don't think Batman's ever been a small guy. I always swear Batman's for Batman, he's never a tiny dude.
Yeah, Batman's 6 foot plus.
And, he has to be physically imposing, and there was something cool about the Keaton Batman. He always had the cape on and he had the body armor and stuff. And he always so I don't know. Keaton Batman was really cool. So I believe he could beat up people, but I think maybe the way they introduced him, when he came out of the shadows and stuff, I don't know. I think they needed a more imposing person. I mean, not that actor. Maybe they could have did him better, but he's not. He doesn't seem like is Robert Pattinson tall? Because he was just eye level with all the dudes.
No, I think he is a tall fellow. He's just lean, very skinny. That's why it was a weird fit. If they do a second one, which I hope they do, because
I think they will.
The first one was okay, and the best part of that was the Penguin. I'm not the biggest Farrell fan, Colin Farrell, whatever his name is, but he was brilliant in that, and you didn't even recognize it was him.
Yeah. They should have made him Batman. What the fuck, man? They should just make Colin Farrell Batman.
Well, there's talk of the guy from Supernatural, but he's too short. Ackles,
Jason Ackles.
Jason Ackles, I think his name is. Yeah. Is that it?
Or Jensen.
Jensen, that's it. That's the one. Jensen. So there's talk of him, but he does the voice in the animated stuff. A lot of the new animated stuff. And they thought about getting him, but he's too short to play the role. So that's the one downside.
I think
at the moment, I don't know who would play it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I don't know, man. I think you would need somebody big. And honestly, I think it hurt me because I watched Reacher before, so I watched the whole season of Reacher, and then it was and then we're Batman came out. Let's watch Batman, and you see him walking out. Now, if you seen a guy walking out of the shadows, and it was Affleck's Batman, that would have been cool. But this guy walks out, and it's a dude.
Yeah,
it's here's some dude who walked out just as a bat, and
there was a couple of good scenes in that.
There
movie.
are the idea that they did was really good.
And
maybe it was maybe the casting just didn't land.
Just didn't. Yeah. I will say that I was on the fence about what's her name as Catwoman.
She did a good job.
Yeah, I think she did.
Even with that dumbass mask they gave her, I was like, it worked. It worked in the movie.
Yeah. So I haven't really got qualms. I'm not a fan of the race change in Commissioner Gordon.
Like that actor.
It's just another redhead that they're replacing. So
yeah. I like that. I liked him in Westworld a lot.
I like that actor thoh. I really like
exactly. That. I like that.
So if they're gonna change it, I'm just going, okay, he's a good actor. It'll just be weird for Barbara Gordon.
I hated the scene where she lectures Batman. Maybe taken out of context, that was weird. It didn't bother me too much in the movie. I don't remember it, to be honest.
I love the Batmobile. My goodness, when you don't see it, but you hear it, the engine kick in, and you just go, "Oh my god, that sounds awesome!"
Yeah.
And it was a cool Batmobile. So, not my favorite, but it's definitely up there as being highly rated for me. So.
Yeah.
The Keaton one is always going to be my favorite, I think.
Yeah, but, it's really tough to top, to be honest. They had what was I watching? And they had I think it was one of the episodes of the animated series. Mm-hmm. And when they had the hood open, they had the turbine under it.
Oh,
like the front of the Keaton Batman.
yeah.
Yeah, it was under the hood of the animated series Batman. I think it was the one episode where he has his mechanic guy that comes in, and then they kidnap his daughter, and he has to put something in the Batmobile, and I can't remember who was taking over. The Batmobile was driving all over the place, and then he hit the eject in the AC. You have the eject seat.
Yeah, Luna agrees with the Batmobile sounding awesome. It just
it
just had that heavy V8 sound, from
But the thing is that
I don't better than the Christian Bale one. I hated the Christian Bale one.
Yeah, I mean the premise was cool.
I like the premise. I love the design, because they actually designed that whole thing. I thought that's brilliant, but it was a tech.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it kind of made sense. I liked the car, the motorcycle.
Yeah, that was neat.
That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Batmobile. Look, as I say, I loved it. Amazing engineering feat that they did for that. But and I still think it looks awesome, but it definitely was an odd choice for a Batmobile. But yes.
Let's see. Why do girls always travel together in odd numbers? Because they can't even.
Yeah, Luniverse here is saying that Keaton was stiff. Yes.
Yeah, because he couldn't move his neck.
Yeah, that's the whole reason. That he couldn't. The rubber suit was just so.
Yeah. They didn't have the stuff like they have now.
He couldn't do all the stuff that he wished he was able to do. So if they fixed all that, it would have been so much better. Because there's a bit where he's looking up in the sky. He's got to move his whole body backwards to tilt up.
What?
Yeah.
That's the Batman look. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. I love the look of the suit, but it did not have any movement in it at all.
Yeah.
I think it was really heavy too.
Yeah, it was really heavy and it was really hot. Like I know it drove him crazy sometimes. I like the design of the Ben Affleck suit was pretty good because it was like the comic book. That was pretty neat. Even when I liked when he had the little goggles in Justice League and shit. And we're piloting the crab. That was like that's a toy. I don't know why they put this crab machine in here, but that's totally to sell toys.
I know a lot of people don't really like Catwoman from the Dark Knight. What was the third one or the Bale one?
That was
Anne Hathaway. A lot of people don't like. I actually did. I liked her.
Dude,
one of the things I thought she looked fantastic, but
dude,
yes.
I actually
they're like we're gonna have you ride the motorcycle and we're gonna shoot you from the back.
Yeah. Okay. But I did love the design of her goggles that they folded up to look like ears on her head. I thought that's so clever.
Yeah, that was very clever. Yeah,
it was a clever use of that to give her that cat look. But it
was a very cool movie, and then it fell apart in the third act.
Yes, and the only reason is because
it sure was.
What's his name died because it was going to be a Joker, so it was going to be a Joker story, and they had to replace the Joker.
But if you're going to do Bane, that made sense too. You know what I mean? I think Bane doing an awesome story. And I think everything kind of leading up to it was okay. And then like at the end, when they did all the reveals, was very weird. It was like, I've been here the whole time. Yeah. I'm Ra's al Ghul's daughter. And I did the plot. I'm like, dude, like.
That's a bit weird. Yeah.
Like, listen, you lost, man. Batman banged you, bro. Like, I don't understand. Like, what kind of revenge? My first part of my revenge, I'm going to have sex with him.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna blow up Gotham. It's like, why don't you just skip that first part? Just do the second one. Like, wait a minute, lady.
All that was a little odd. But I liked what's his name's character, the cop, and there was many things in that I thought if they continued on with that story, because calling him Robin was really stupid.
It's third act. It was like what? Like,
it's going. Well, that's his name is anyway. But they could recover from that quite well if that when Batman comes back, he gets an apprentice, like he gets Dick Grayson, and he remembers his friend Robin, the cop, and that's why he was given. He managed to create the Robin character because of that. I thought that would work really well.
I think it was very last minute. All that stuff fell apart for me. I didn't.
Yeah.
Use your name, Robin. Hey man, the superhero's name is Robin. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
So, but that could make it work. See, I could see that happening. He was going, oh, his name was Robin. I want to honor my friend that I fought beside, and I'm going to use his name. Yes, it's a lame character, but still, Robin is kind of a weird thing. But I thought that would, if you're going to tie it in, that would be a brilliant way to tie it in.
Yeah.
Say, his name's Robin. One of the things I did like was the whole thing about Alfred going on holidays and looking for Bruce. He kept, looking over and going, I kept hoping that I'd see your face. And then right at the end, it happens. And he goes, nods and then walks away. It's going to excellent. I thought that was really touching. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm actually a big fan of the Christian Bale ones. But,
yeah. It was all good until like that third act. I think it got a little weird.
A lot of people died.
All right, Bane, you're beating my ass. Selina's just gonna come and shoot you. So I didn't even beat Bane. I'm like, okay, you're not gonna beat up you're not gonna have that triumphant fight against the guy that broke your back and threw you down in the pit and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're just gonna have Selina shoot him. Sure. Okay. I gotta fly away with with this bomb.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Just put on a boat. Point that shit the other way. All right, man. No, I gotta fly with it. Okay.
No, I was running.
I thought Bane was pretty good. I didn't mind him at all.
I didn't mind him. The voice threw me out every time. Every time he spoke, I was going, oh god damn it.
Yeah, I mean, what would you have him sound like though? Like if he had to do something different. Like, would you sound like a dude?
I broke you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
It just sounded so disconnected. That's what it said to me. So I'm just you hear the sound, and it didn't sound like it was coming from him. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere. And I was like, I'm just going, oh, that just is so off-putting.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. It was sort of like that directional sound that it didn't sound like it was coming from him. Whereas everyone else, you're in a cinema, you can't whatever. But it just didn't sound like it was projecting from him like the other characters. So it just threw me out.
I thought they did a lot better job with voice change for Venom for Tom Hardy. That probably would have worked out a lot more better with Bane.
Yeah, I liked it better than a 2023 Catwoman. She looks like Catwoman more than a 2023 version. She did look more like Catwoman, but the 23 Cat went back to the Selina. Yeah, the street cat roots. But the other chick was a thief.
Yeah.
What's her name? Was the thief? She stole my heart with that booty. Let's see. Like the Terminator Zero. It's hard for me to watch anything now. I gotta check that out. I've been hearing good things about that Terminator Zero cartoon on Netflix.
Oh, it was great. I binge watched the whole thing in one sitting.
Oh, how many episodes?
I had to keep going. It's 8 episodes, so it's easy.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's probably what I'll do. I can't stand waiting now. I'm horrible like that. I'll tell you what fell off, man. The Boys. What Boys was ass, dude. That was third season. Yeah, third season that came out, dude. That was ass, man. It's done. The DOA, man. They went too goofy, and they did get very it was cool them poking. They poked a lot of fun at like the conspiracy theorist stuff. We're all like, oh, the gay transgender agenda is coming for your kids, and so they were doing a lot of extreme stuff like that at these conventions, and so they were poking fun at that, which is the far right stuff, but they never did it to the far left stuff.
No,
and the far left stuff was normal, and then so there's a part, and it's a throwaway line. And it just kind of soured me on everything. Was so pretty much in this season, everybody's a horrible fucking person. In season 3, all the boys, all the people you're rooting for, they're all horrible people, and it all comes out in this season. and there's a one throwaway line that was maybe in where it's Huey and Starlight, and then they talk about how I guess it might be kind of a spoiler. I don't know. Maybe I won't talk about. I don't know. If you guys care,
I'm not going to watch it because I watched the first season, enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, no. Honestly, it'll kind of ruin it for you. I might watch the next season just to see if hopefully it wraps up, because it should wrap up the 4th season, because I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest. But so there's a part where they find, I guess it was leaked or something. They find out because they're doing like press against like Starlight and her people, which ends up being like imagine like what's like Starlight and her people are kind of like, I don't want to say like BLM, but they're more like, left activists.
Yeah.
Against like Homelanders, far right, crazy people, right? And so it gets leaked that Starlight had an abortion, and it's like, okay, like, but they don't really say when, and you're like, all right. But then so there's a throwaway line with Huey and her. She's like, yeah, it was a private thing. He's like, yeah, we weren't ready to have a kid. And I'm like, you mean to tell me that Huey knocked up Starlight, and he said it was okay for her to like have an abortion? And it was very weird to me, because I wouldn't see Huey as the guy to be. He looked like he looked very much like a simp. He's like, yeah, it was private, like it was your decision. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it took two, right? And that was like, especially if you were following Huey's character, and he's like the hopeful guy, like I wouldn't see him saying it's okay for that to happen.
Yeah.
To be honest. And it just was a little throwaway thing that they did, and I was like, oh, like, man, Huey, you're the bitch. Like, that's the first thing I thought, because okay, Starlight, imagine all this stuff's going on, and then Starlight and Huey end up having a kid, and then they have to like be parents during all this crazy shit. Like, that would be interesting. That would add something to their character. They're all just horrible people now. They're all horrible people, and they all fail all the time. They all suck, and they all deserve.
Has anyone read the books? I don't, and I'm wondering how far they've steered away from the original stories. So
from what I understand, they made better changes for the story, for the show. Like, they made some of the changes they made, like the Deep is totally different character and stuff, so they made changes that have been better for the show, to be honest, because otherwise the Deep is just a dude in a deep sea outfit, like a freaking old like with a big old ball on his head with one of those old-timey scuba suits. And so yeah, that's great what he did, and some of the other stuff was like different. So they did change stuff better for the show. But I think season 3, you can tell people got a hold of it, and because it was good, they got their claws in it, and they started turning it into some kind of agenda bullshit.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, it was very and everybody's a horrible person. And then all of a sudden you have the Frenchie and the Asian girl, right? And then all of a sudden in season 3, the Frenchie guy's bisexual, and he's making out with dudes all the time, and they're always showing dicks. They're always showing dicks in season 3. And you're just like, dude, like, I don't even think they showed a titty. Like, if you're going to show stuff, like, okay, fine. Like, but no, it was just all dongs, and this dude making out with people, and everybody's horrible. And I just was like, dude, like this. I didn't want to watch the Boys to see any of this stuff. Like, just where it was going was kind of interesting. You think some characters can be redeemable? Nobody's redeemable. Everybody's a horrible person in the show. It's a show called The Boys with superheroes and gratuitous violence. Who are you appealing to when you show penises? Yeah. Not your demographic that you're meant to be. Yeah, it's like almost they kind of, and they up I don't know, some of the I don't know, it was very weird. All dongs. I have not seen this yet. One's too much for me. Shamalama ding dongs. Yeah, it was very weird, because normally it's like, okay, like you would, but usually it would show both, like in season 2 they would show whatever, like they would have sex scenes, you'd see stuff, but this season it was just like, nope, we're just showing ding dongs. And like I said, everybody's horrible. Nobody's redeemable. Everybody's trash. Even the heroes.
Where can I watch this again?
What's that?
K-pop's going. Where can I watch this again?
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, what's the boys? You know. Yeah, it was. It had some funny little moments in it and stuff, but yeah, it was. I don't know if he's in charge. I don't know. I think he's been there for a bit. He's a producer or something. But he's also a producer of Invincible as well. I haven't seen season 2 of that yet. I saw 2 episodes and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw the first. Maybe the first season.
Yes, I think I saw to where he goes to another planet. They sent him to another planet on a mission.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I gotta watch the other ones. But then again, it's hard for me to get into anything to want to watch past 3 episodes. You know, and I just stuck with the boys just because I think it was 8. And I was like, well, I gotta see what happens. You know, and so I was like, all right. And then I was like, ugh, no, I'm out, man. They don't got me for season 4.
No.
Because you're kind of watching this hoping that somebody's going to be a good guy, and nobody's a good guy. Everybody's horrible. And then you're just like, I just wasted my fucking time. That's how I felt at the end. I just wasted my time with freaking 8 episodes, and that's how it ends. That's it. Like, I just wasted my time. I don't know what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
Hoping for any character arts or character redemptions ain't happening. Everybody just gets worse. This is the season that everything comes out and everybody's horrible people. It's like, ugh. So you're just gonna have horrible people fighting horrible people. Horrible people without superpowers fighting horrible people with superpowers.
Well, I can see I missed nothing.
Yeah, it was disappointing. That's like one of the few shows that I was like, okay, like, that's one of the few shows that me and the wife were enjoying and watching together.
Yeah, I'm watching Batman the animated series when I go to the gym. I'm watching it.
There you go. Luna asked, has anyone seen the new Turtles or something? That one where the turtles are all squeakers. Sorry, after the trailer, I'm not watching the Turtles movies. Them sounding like that. So some of it has, man, it's hard.
Is that the one where they replace the redhead again with the
Yeah. Here's the thing. The thing with that is everybody in the show is ugly. Honestly, the people are uglier than the damn mutants that they have in the show, and not in the show, in the movie. I haven't seen the show. I heard the show's better, but because they did a cartoon off of that Mutant Mayhem or whatever. But the movie itself, dude, like sometimes it got kind of weird, and I was watching it with my daughter, and I was kind of like, why is this in the movie? So there's a part where he says that there's he's like, they're gonna catch you. He keeps the kids underground because they're gonna catch him. They're gonna catch you, experiment on you, and then they're gonna milk you. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, like what? And so, of course, there's a point in the story where all the turtles get captured and they start draining all the ooze out of them, you know? And then Jackie Chan as Splinter comes to save them. And then he's like, see, I told you they were going to milk you. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like,
it is weird.
I don't think my daughter should be listening, hearing this shit. You know? It was like, what? And then, but all the designs, like the turtles were cool. Like I think the turtles looked good. I think they had good designs for the turtles, and I think sometimes it looked good. But all the people if you were like, April's hideous, all the people in the movie are fucking ugly. Like all the people are hideous. All the people look like that April design. They're all freaking monsters. They're all horrible monsters.
Bunch of lumpy ass dump trucks.
Yep. Eyes all crooked and nose all jacked up and teeth. Yeah, they're all freaking ugly. And I'm like, dude, like the turtles are the best looking part of the movie. Their designs and the way they look are the best. Everything else is freaking ugly. And so I guess they did the show, and I heard the show was good, but I don't know. I'll take that with a grain of salt. But that movie was weird, man. It was weird. And my daughter was like, "Yeah, I kind of she liked it," but I'm like, yeah, "I don't think we're gonna watch that again." You know, but she likes the turtles anyway, so I put on the cartoon for her. I don't know if she's ever seen. I gotta see if she's. I don't know if she's ever seen the live action one. I might have to show the first one. Yeah, the first live action one. That still holds.
See, one of the things I'm doing when I babysit my granddaughter is I'm putting on old school Scooby-Doo. I'm putting on old school Godzilla movies. She's getting some positive association with some good material.
We've been watching all the old Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse stuff.
Nice. Like
30s and 40s and 50s. You know, she loves the old Donald Duck stuff, especially with Donald and Chip and Dale. So we'll watch that usually every morning before school because she can eat. She likes to watch TV and eat her cereal. You know, so I'm like, okay, but I can't put on anything long because she'll stop and watch it. Yeah. So those things they're 8 minutes, so she can watch 2 and be done with her breakfast in a reasonable amount of time. And if we put on or like something like Bluey, because they're like 8-10 minutes, so she can do something like that. But if it's something that's 20 minutes, she's gonna sit there and watch 25 minutes. She's gonna sit there and watch it, and that she's not gonna finish. So that's why those things are perfect. So she's been watching like Bluey in the morning, or she's been watching Super Mario Super Show. And she loves Super Mario Super Show right now.
Nice.
Like they would, with Captain Lou and the live. She loves the live action things, the little skits they do in the beginning. Yeah, she's freaking. She loves all that stuff. It's great. That's what we were watching earlier today before I came online and before I put her to bed.
That's awesome.
Like, what you want to watch, sweetie? You want to watch Bluey? She's like, I'm actually watching Mario. Okay. And then she knows the rap. She knows the beginning rap. And then she knows the end. Do the Mario, and she'll stand up and try and do the Mario, and so that's great. I'm like, this is awesome, dude. So yeah, she was singing along with the Mario rap and stuff, the intro and everything. I was like, okay, I'm like, this is cool. Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah. Milking turtles. Whoa. Wait, why? Yeah, I don't know why. The makers are on drugs and should be on watch. Yeah, it was very weird. And everybody's design was awesome, or was ugly. Even the other mutants, I was so disappointed because like I was stoked to see Ray Fillet because like Ray Fillet was like in the Archie comics. As far as I know, he's from the Archie comic, and he was from the Archie comic. And then his design is trash. It is so bad. Luna says, hey, for class tomorrow, I have to draw a side character for a story. So I thought of this story about a pirate cursed to be a half alligator, half man. And the side character is his night bodyguard. Okay. So you have to draw a side character, a night bodyguard. You should make the night bodyguard half crab. That'd be cool. Because they kind of have armor. They have the exoskeleton. They got that one big ass claw. Or you can make him a turtle. That'd be cool too. Why does the pirate have a bodyguard? A night bodyguard. Let's see. If the entire crew got cursed. But except he's a knight. So would he be a pirate or would he be I don't know why a knight or a knight would, or a pirate would have a bodyguard knight. But I'm sure just kind of keep that in mind. So Crab Knight. I tell you what, I'm stoked for that Wild Robot movie. We're gonna see it Friday.
That looks so amazing.
I know. I'm like, dude, I'm stoked, bro. That's what I get excited about.
I still need to see Transformers 1 too. I've heard some good things about that.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of worried about that.
I don't like the look of the Prey. Like, just the idea of it just seems really silly. But you know what? I could be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'll probably see that when it comes on streaming. I just see all these weird designs, and it's like, oh, I got to go back and watch this OG Transformer stuff. I remember it as a kid, but it's like it was too early, so I always missed it. Like it was like it like came on at like 6 in the morning, so I always missed Transformers, and I always caught the tail end of GI Joe. Like I would catch like the last 5 minutes, and then see like the annoying is half the battle, Use a fire extinguisher on that grease fire. Thanks, barbecue. Dude, man. G.I. Joe used to save our lives, dude.
The nosebleed one I remember to this day because I actually used that. Quick, tilt your head back. No, print your nose closed and lean your head forward. I'm like, okay.
Thanks, Apache. How? Like, I'm gonna be some like probably seeing this some racist stuff today now. You're like, that dude was awesome. What are you talking about, man? Thanks, William the Refrigerator Perry. Oh man. Hey Pixel, what's up, dude? Oh,
hey, there's my boy.
This is because it's a world where ninjas, pirates, knights, Vikings, and cowboys all work together either for the government or as criminals, except pirates, they are always criminals. Was that Fortnite? There we go. Let's see. I try to come up with something creative. The knight is his bodyguard, not because the pirate needs it, but because the knight escaped execution because of him, so he feels he's okay. Okay. Everybody's saying hi. Hey, man, cool. Hi-ya. I guess missed the big Berserker info dump earlier. Don't worry.
Oh, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, let me draw something. How about that? At least I did something today. I try to draw every day, but I didn't do anything today. I don't know if I should keep the guy as the little nutcracker dude, or if maybe I should make him just a little night guy. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick little. I don't think I'll get yelled at. Let's see, where's my.
Oh, cool.
I think it's one of the best logos I've ever done.
That is good, man. Yeah, I like that. Revenge.
Nice.
I like the credits at the bottom. Cool. The two. That's real cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to really give it a really, I don't know. There's a certain look to it. I had the logo in my head for a long time, and I finally got it out. You're like, yeah, this is just going to come together.
Is this this is the Golden Age book?
Yeah, the pirate. This is the pirate tale.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the more of a golden age.
Okay. Cool.
Storytelling method. So yeah, there's a lot of layers here, but for the coloring, I want to do more of watercolor. So the pages look more like 90s Valiant. Okay.
I was gonna say just do like the normal one color stuff like they used to do in the Golden Age.
Yeah.
Just red. That's it. That's the colors, man.
Well, there's a whole science to that because the person who was the colorist would have to assign certain colors based on the formulas that the printer could make.
Mm-hmm.
So they would go in with their red, but then they'd have to mark that as R2 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that when it goes to the separations, they would be able to replicate it pretty close. There's a few YouTube videos that are fascinating where they compare the colorist's proof sheet to what actually got printed.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nothing that.
Light up.
Full disclaimer for anybody, nothing here is final. It still has to get approved, so that was nice little sneak peek.
Oh, speaking of watercolor, I bought a ton of watercolor brushes for Procreate recently. That's nice. Cool. So you cover. So you're for hire to color, right, Eric?
Yeah, when I have the time available.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, cool. Just in case if I ever need any, I can keep you in mind. Because I can't color to save my life. That's why I'm gonna be like one color. This is gonna look like crayon, baby. There we go.
I don't know. I think for Berserker, that kind of a more of a rough color style might actually work to your advantage.
Yeah, I did the.
It'd be interesting to try it.
Yeah, see, I'll show the. See if I can pull up the cover here. I colored the cover for the second printing, and yeah, it's just one color, man. It's just flats, dude. Because I do all the shading black and white, and so I do like this. This everything looks shaded like a pencil. When I do the black and white for Berserker, then I just put colors on top of it, pretty much, and then was
look good.
Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I have just that image saved. If you want to order a second copy of Berserker, the link is in the description below. It's $8 plus taxes and shipping. It's print on demand. I just posted that up. It has a different cover than the first printing, and they ship worldwide. So feel free to get yourself a copy.
Worldwide.
So Hockey, you can order a copy.
I can order a copy.
$8.
Where can I order it from? Pray I ask.
MightyBotStudio.com. But there's a direct link in the description below. You just click on it right there. What did I do with it? Where did I put that thing? And don't worry. So like the issue with Berserker is when you print on demand. So like the cover, when you Berserker is like this, but it's horizontal. But I did it like this, so when you put it in your bag and board, and you have it in your long box, the title's at the top, and you'll know what book it is. So that's why I did this, but it's a horizontal. It's a horizontal format like this. So when you look at it on the print on demand link, the book's gonna look like this. It's gonna be freaking sideways. It's okay. It's okay. Everything checks out. Let's see. Let me find that image.
My book's going to print out like you know those paint palettes that spread from one corner, so you can fan it out. That's no, it's not. But that would be cool.
That would be awesome. That'd be hard. That'd be weird. It'd be like, you mean like the color swatch books?
Yeah. You know, they fan out like a paper fan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So each page will be on a fan.
Did I not post it up here? Where is it at? I'm having issues finding it now. All right, I'll just share the Twitter.
I would love to do a pop-up. Man,
that'd be cool.
That'd be so expensive to make, but geez, it'd be cool.
Heck yeah, it would.
Let's see. Add that to the stage. I should have just saved it. Yeah, you can't even see nothing. All right, let me save it. Let me save the image. Still make it super tiny. That's right. I got it saved in my iPad. That's where I got it.
Interesting stuff, because I've been for a while. My kids hit a kangaroo the other week.
Your what?
The kids hit a kangaroo.
Oh, okay.
And damaged the front of the car.
I thought I owed it money. Listen, you kangaroo, you better give me my $5 for this paper route.
Yeah.
Your ass.
And so the car's being fixed, but it's costing me. It'll probably cost me over $6,000 to get it fixed. but it's being fixed, so that's exciting. We need to drive to Queensland next week, and we needed the car. So I'm glad that it's being fixed. But yeah, $6,000 hit is a bit rough. So could have been worse. So I'm just. Well, there you go. That's the exciting news that's happening on my end.
Oof, that is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. This is a screenshot of a picture, so. Yeah, I just did simple colors. I don't even think I didn't do any two tones because I did all the shading on the.
It doesn't need it though. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I did all the shading on the thing itself. So when I do black and white, I do all the shading already, like that pencil style on it, and then I just all right. Here's another layer. We'll put color under it.
Pixel Trader. Look, I can't. That's the girl, the Hot Tour girl. She's taken that now. I don't want to plagiarize on that. So no.
Yeah, apparently she's been doing appearances and then like giving all the money to like her local shelters and shit for pets.
Yeah, she's kind of cool actually.
Yeah,
so. She's actually kind of a cool lass.
She's got her own podcast now too.
Oh yeah,
because of course.
Why not?
Who doesn't have one?
That's how we communicate. We don't talk to each other. We just listen to each other's podcasts.
Yeah, right. We gotta make content.
Content. Why aren't you in here, Jason? You big slob.
He's tired. He was gonna pop in, but he said he was tired.
Hey, you wimp! You big lazy bastard!
We're all tired.
You ink spots. You.
I've been waiting on a guy to send me some video to work on, and haven't gotten it yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to build out a YouTube channel for the Fantast collection.
Mm-hmm.
So we produced the first video interview with Darren, and I got to do the lower thirds in the intro and outro, and you're supposed to be uploading it, and I got no notifications yet.
Yeah, tell me more about that project because I'm not sure exactly what it is or what it's for.
So, a year and a half ago, I met a man by the name of Darren Watts, who inherited a huge collection from his father that spans 300,000 comic books, 500,000 baseball cards, a whole bunch of UFO and rare coins and rare books, just massive amounts of stuff that this guy didn't take care of. He just collected and hoarded, like put it in a box, put it away.
Mm-hmm. So
when he died, his son inherited this collection, had no idea what was in it. He only knew, like, yeah, there was a Superman one somewhere, but didn't know what kind of condition it was. Turns out at the time when we got it graded to be the third most valuable in the world.
Oh, wow.
And then there's like tons of other like amazing books and, you know, like Hank Aaron rookie cards and stuff like that. So there's like tons of this stuff. And he didn't know what to do with it. Of course, you've got people just like offer you a whole bunch of money, get rid of it, get off your hands. He wanted to turn it into something good because it was a big negative for their family. Like his parents got divorced over it. The father had like undiagnosed Asperger's and went into dementia, and just really like it wouldn't let the kids look at stuff, play with anything, tell their friends about it. It was like a forced, like 40-year-old secret. And so, long story short, we got the idea of a filmmaker. They produced a movie about it called Selling Superman. That's coming out in November as a 4-part documentary series. Yours truly is in it. I did a bunch of artwork for it. I designed the website. I designed the label that's on the CGC graded books. CGC awarded them the very first Providence label for the Inheritance. So I did the artwork for that kind of tells this whole story of how this crazy guy collected all this stuff and what happened to it. So
wow.
So yeah, so now what we're doing is we're focusing on building out content that answers some of the stuff that's not in the film. Because in the film, again, it's 4 parts. Each part's 45 minutes to an hour, and there's a ton of stuff on the cutting room floor. So we're trying to fill in some of the gaps and kind of get out in front of it with this first video, and then our YouTube show is going to be kind of like that'll be the sequel, what we're doing with the collection.
Okay.
So a big thing with Darren is to try to put things in the hands of people who are really going to appreciate it. So we do lots of giveaways. We do one every quarter. We give away a book that's worth about $1,000. Wow. And people just have to email, tell us why it means something to them, and we pick the best response.
Oh wow!
A lot of philanthropy, children's hospital stuff, and just trying to meet people. We've taken people who are comic book dealers that are small time, giving them some of these really nice books to take to kind of help them out, and again, just get them in the hands of people that are going to love it. Because anybody could just sell to some jerk who's going to flip it, which is not what we want to do. There's if anybody wants any mint inbox Star Wars toys, sitting on a whole ton of them. I've got price lists and stuff. I posted something on my Twitter about it. But we're selling. What's left of those is, we've got the box is open, but you could get a mint, never put together Slave 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, like vintage stuff still in box.
That's cool.
Where's Plague?
Yeah, damn Plague.
Plague will go, yeah. He loves
That's up his alley.
Yeah, no, that part of my life's been fun, and I ended up working for this other company, which is a tech company. We do, I started doing all the marketing materials for that, and it's what's known as an MSP, a managed service provider. So it's a complete IT stack with data backups, security, cloud-based apps, desktop management. And he's also a phone company, so we do business phone lines for anybody in the country.
Oh, wow.
It's all VoIP based, and we bill fairly. So any business, like say you got 10 phones, the phone companies are going to charge you for every one of those phones, whether you're using it or not. Because we control the service, we have our own service, and we control the DIDs. With WATEC, you only pay for what's actually getting used. So we just quoted a couple of weeks ago to a school locally here called Cranbrook. They probably have hundreds of phones, probably paying $10,000 a month in phone bills for something that's not getting used very often. Like certainly the dorm room phones aren't being used because everybody's got a cell phone. So with our model and our business structure, that saves them at least $7,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
Most likely. So any business, like your little video game shop there, J-Bot. Perfect example.
Yeah, I mean, we only have one line, and we don't answer it half the time.
Right?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good, except when people usually call when I'm on a ladder to getting something.
Well, yeah, that's just Murphy's Law in action, right?
Like I sit down, I'm like, oh man. Of course, anytime I sit down, people come in. I'm like, dude, okay. Or if I order food, it's another one too. Order some food or lunch or a dinner if I'm working. Because usually when I work from 12 to 7. So around sometimes in there, sometimes I'll order something to eat, and then it's like, here comes 8 people. Well, let's see. K-Pop says, I'm donating a crap ton of old Nortel phones to the Boys and Girls Club. They take them apart and sell the parts. Is it or is that Nextel? Is it Nortel or Nextel? I remember Nextel was like the business phone company. Back in the day, they used to have the chirp. Hey, you there?
Oh yeah, then like Boost Mobile or something bought him out, and then they had the chirp for a while.
Yeah.
Now nobody does that.
Yeah, nobody does that. It was so easy. But yeah, we would do it all the time with our business. My dad's duct cleaning business. We're always doing HVAC services and stuff. We had that back in like the early 90s. God forbid you wanted to text, man. Jeez, you'd be there, click.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah,
so the chirp was essentially middleware. You couldn't text very well yet. You didn't want to call on the phone, so it was walkie-talkie.
Yep. Walkie-talkie. Jay needs a Nokia N-Gage. Ooh. Or a T-Mobile Sidekick. I missed the, which was the phone that had the sliding keyboard?
That was a Windows phone, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Or maybe it's a Samsung. It might be a Samsung, or was it a Nokia or something? That you would slide it. And the keyboard would be on the bottom. I was looking today to see if they had an attachment for my iPhone where I could have a sliding keyboard come out of it.
Remember the one that was the first gaming phone?
Yeah, the N-Gage.
Was it the N-Gage? Yes.
Yeah, it was the N-Gage.
Yeah. But I knew someone who had one. He said it's weird when you answer the phone because you hold the side of the phone to your head. And I thought, that is weird.
That sounds, yeah, you're like...
That
makes it, yeah.
Yeah, the N-Gage. Oh, that's right. Forgot him. Yeah, he says, yeah, it's pretty cool, but oh my goodness, this answering looks weird.
I'd love to go back to, like, I don't know. I think I still have my one that has the sliding keyboard. I might just be like, activate this for me, T-Mobile. This is what I want now. Now they're making flip phones again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's all that folded screen, and
Yeah.
it just makes me so nervous.
Yeah. I remember those Nextel, old gray Nextel phones. That sucker, that battery was a brick, dude. It was all battery.
That was self-defense.
Yeah,
right there.
you threw that at somebody, man, somebody was bleeding. I'm sure it had all those radio waves and radiation going through your brain when you're answering that phone. The battery was like 3 iPhones just stacked together. It's like, I tell you what, though, that sucker was strong. I feel like I think we missed out on how cool technology could have been, man.
There's an Australian YouTube called How Ridiculous, and they like went into the middle of the outback, got in a chopper, and like went up as high as they could. Like I can't remember how high it was, and they're dropping phones out to see which would survive. Only the Nokia ones, like the bricks. They'd throw the bricks out and just go, they still worked. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, those things were no joke, man. Yeah. Now everything's like they want it to break so they can buy a new one.
Exactly. Give you the razor to sell you the blades.
Luna had a flip AT&T phone that used to play He used to play Pac-Man now.
Nice.
T-Mobile sidekick.
I have been tempted to get those remakes of those Nokias. That's for sure. So, oh yeah, let's just go back to basics.
Yeah, my kids' generation, they're like rediscovering vinyl and cassette tapes. And...
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's who comes in my store all the time. It's a bunch of young kids. Even like I want to say like middle school to high school now. They're buying like DVDs. They want to own media. They want to own crazy. They love Atari.
Maybe there's hope for us as a species yet.
Yeah, I think so. They're also really against all that woke stuff too. because that's like the counterculture now.
Mm-hmm. The pendulum always swings back harder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what did I was dude, we're live streaming a Donkey Kong tournament, and like I made some kind of I can't remember what I said. Oh, dude, I'm trying to remember. And the young kids were like, what was it? I think I was talking about like when you when the spring was bouncing, and it's like, yeah, you gotta watch out for that spring. It's like in the second board when the spring bounces and then falls down, and it's like bang, 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 bang. And one of the dudes is like, oh, I didn't know there were any Chinese kids here. And we started fucking dying. We were live streaming it to the YouTube channel, and he just came out of nowhere with it, and we all started dying. There was 8 of us, we're doing the tournament in the room, and we all started dying. And we couldn't believe it came from this kid. Like, this kid was like maybe like, yeah, he was like probably like a sophomore in high school, you know. So when he just was like, it's like, I don't know if it was a Chinese, or it's like, I don't know if it was a Chinese game. And then we started dying. We all just started freaking dying because they came out of nowhere. We're like, I can't. And I was there, and there was like a couple of, there's like 1 or 2 dads, who come in and, they'll play the old tournaments and stuff with their kids and things like that. And he was like, dude, like, I was like, I can't believe you said that. He's like, I can't believe a young kid said that today. Like, I'm surprised he wasn't all like, whoa. We never would have believed it. It was hilarious. Stuff like that. It's just, just good-natured fun, man. It doesn't mean anything. I think people kind of forgot about that. Everybody's supposed to get teased. That's the fun of it. But that's like the idea.
Yeah. You got to build up some resiliency. That's what school's about.
Yep. I think we have to go back to telling people they look ridiculous and not be afraid to do that. I think that's a big part of what the problem is. Nobody's going, you look ridiculous. Go home. Speech is pretty bad too. And I got a lot of young kids come in. Writing's atrocious. So kids their handwriting is ass. Like kids they don't even know a signature. They can't sign their name. They don't know cursive anymore.
Yeah.
So they'll do, they'll bring me a trade in and stuff, and they'll be even I have 20, 25-year-old men come in, and they can't freaking, they can't sign their name when I buy some games from them. We got to do a signature. They're like, what's that? You have to sign your name, man. Then they just print it twice because it's print and sign. So they just print it and then they just print it again. I was like, dude, make a squiggle or something, man. Like, don't print your name twice.
What do you want to be when you grow up? A doctor? You need to scribble now.
Yeah, you need to do it now. Only on your signature, though. No, they scribble everything else and then they write their name like a 5-year-old. I'm like, dude, how old are you, man? He's like 23. I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God. See, what's funny is they had a Nokia that fell about 3 feet and shattered the screen. That's always the vulnerable part. Hooray for the pendulum swing. Yeah. My kid won't touch paper comics anymore. It's all manga via various apps. Yeah. That's understandable. Kids say what they see. Yeah, honesty's a lost art. Yeah. Say about you and go home. I'm already here. There's nowhere else for me to go. I'm already at home. At least I learned cursive, although I take my time. Yeah, kids aren't learning cursive anymore. So, yeah, they don't know how to handle money. They don't know how to handle money either. Like bills. Like they don't know how to handle cash. Like they'll always a lot of times they'll hand me they'll just hand it to me folded or wadded up and be like, oh, here. I'm like, that was $20, and they'll just be like, here. I'm just like, I'm about to fold that, man. What's wrong with you? Why is it wet? I don't want this damn $20 bill. And I see it too. A lot of young kids too. They'll have their money, they'll have a wallet. Let's say 8 or 10 years old, and they'll be there with their mom, and they'll pull out their wallet, and they'll open their wallet, and their mommy will pull the money out for them. And then I have to go. I have to go. I mean, it's my store, so I can do what I want. I'm like, oh, he got it. It's his wallet. And he can take it out. Let him take it out. You know, like I'm gonna be like, oh, you gave me an extra $5. Yeah, baby. I'm like, you know what the hell, dude? I'm gonna count it. He's gonna give it to me. I'm gonna count it. And we'll take it from there. He can get his change. I'm like, yeah, he can do it. Let him do it. And even they'll be like, you're right. I have to stop. Like, yeah, lady, you gotta stop. He's 12 years old. He should be able to give me $5.30. And a lot of it, and another thing too is they'll talk to their mom, be like, oh. And then she'll look at me, and be like, oh, he wants to know if you have a PlayStation 2. And I'm like, he can ask me.
Use your word.
Won't buy it. It's all right. What you looking for, man? So I said, what you looking for, bud? Yeah, man. Right over here.
My kids will go to me. My kids will go to me and they'll say, I want that. I want to get that. And I said, oh, well, there's that person over there. Go tell them. So they go, I'm not going over there. I go, well, you obviously don't want it that hard enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I do it to my daughter too, and now she orders at the restaurant first. Yeah,
oh, nice.
I open the floodgates, man. She's like, I want a lemonade and some chicken nuggets. And some fries that are crispy. I'm like, all right, you tell her, girl. You tell her what you want.
You gotta flip the whole script. Tell her your order. Make her order for you.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah. You're gonna order for me? Everybody gets chicken nuggets. That's how everybody eats from now on.
Everyone gets chicken nuggets.
Everybody's eating chicken fingers, man.
That's awesome.
The script will be flipped. But I wanted a steak. No, you're gonna get chicken nuggets. You're gonna like it. But I don't want chicken nuggets. I don't like chicken nuggets. You haven't even ate these chicken nuggets. So everybody gets chicken tenders. Goes up to my daughter. Chicken tenders and lemonade. That's what everybody eats.
That's what you get. Nothing else. Get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Keep forgetting I gave this guy this little pouch so he can hold stuff. I don't know why he's got a little pouch on his hip. Yeah, I feel that. I think it's a combination of over politeness and fear of doing something wrong, because we tend to think one mistake equals the end of the world. Yes, and that's going to be a problem if you want to talk to ladies.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a big problem. So you got to get that out of your system as soon as possible.
Speak to the ladies.
Yep. When you stop, you should care. But when you stop caring and just start being yourself, then I think that's when it all falls into place for you. That's what I learned my senior year of high school, when I didn't care, whatever. I was like, hey man,
I don't give a shit.
That's when all the girls started talking to me. I was like, damn, bro. What? And then I met my wife, and that all stopped. just when it started getting good, it was like, all right, time to put the kibosh on that now.
Happily ever after.
So we almost had a porch cat yesterday.
Oh,
We have a cat, and we already have a cat. So we have an old man cat. He's 18, and then we have a dog. Who's a corgi Australian Shepherd mix. She's like a little meatloaf on legs. This damn thing. We have a 50-pound rocket. Is what she is. And then my mother-in-law stays with us, so she has 2 miniature pinchers. So we got 3 dogs and the cat.
okay.
And I come home from work. My wife comes outside. The one time she decides to take the trash out, and there's a cat just hanging out on our front porch. And so I posted some pictures on the, we have a local Facebook page for the subdivision, So I posted some pictures of the cat there, and he was a sweetheart. He was, I think it was a gray tabby cat, gray and white. And he just walked right up to us, was like, "Hey, man," and rubbed our legs, and we laid down, and we pet him, and so I posted some pictures on there, and then nobody got back to me, so it was like an hour later. So we got him some food and water, and we put one of the old pet beds outside, and we're like, we don't know, like he's just here hanging out. So it's like, and down here in the South, like people just like so he had no collar or anything like that. So about 2 hours later, another lady got back to me that lives in our neighborhood, was like, "I got a chip scanner. I could come over. We could scan him for chips." I said, "Okay, cool. Yeah, bring it on over." So she came over and scanned him. He didn't have a chip. And then so he was like cool as shit. He just went and laid in her lap, and she scanned him. Then she started like checking his teeth, and it's like, okay, he's missing most of his teeth here. He has a cyst in his mouth. So he's an old cat. She's like, he's probably an old cat, but he has been fixed, and he didn't look like a street cat. So we figured he belonged to somebody. So it's like, okay. Well, it's like, well, I mean, like, she's like, this is what you can do. You can call, the animal, but it was Sunday, so nobody was open. So it's like you can call like the animal people, and see what they do, and maybe they can check them up for $60. They can give them all the shots and give them a checkup. And he's not your cat. You don't want them to take him, but at least they can check him out. Okay. So we're like, all right, well, I guess we got a porch cat now, because we couldn't, hours passed after that lady came by and nobody got back to us. So we're like, all right, we got a porch cat. So we're looking at little shelters, little houses that you could put on your front porch that are insulated, that cats can, spend winters and stuff in too, because down here in the South, cats they'll survive all year long with the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're good, here in South Carolina. That's why there's so many. You're like, okay. So he'd be fine. And he the whole time, like we're talking, like I came home at like 12 o'clock and he was there the whole time, just hanging out at the porch. And we fed him. So we put a bowl out there and some water out there in an old pet bed. And we're like, oh, I guess we got a porch cat. So we were looking at Amazon to get a little house for him. He'll live on our porch. And then somebody messaged us, and I guess he escaped and he was down the block. But we were ready. We're like, we got a porch cat. My daughter was like, great. Just bring it inside right now. I'm like, this cat got claws, sweetie. Our cat doesn't have claws. This cat's gonna kill all the dogs and our cat, and be king of the house. He was super. He let me pick him up. Like we picked him up and we would pet him and he'd purr. So that's where he had to belong to somebody. We knew he belonged to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost had a porch cat. I was like, what do we call him? I called him Buddy. So we were like, we'll just call him Buddy.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, the lady, I think it was like 9:30. She sent me a message. Oh, we just saw that. We were wondering where he was. They were watching the cat for a friend while they get their house built.
Right. Yep.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. Because they're like, yeah, they're staying in a hotel right now while their house gets built, but they can't keep the cat there. And I was like, all right, I don't know. It seemed weird. I don't know what's going on. I was like, okay, sure, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, she walked over. She was like 2-3 houses down. She walked over in her PJ pants, and the cat knew her and walked right over to her. And so now we know where he is. But he's welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
We were worried though. So we're like, Ellie, my daughter, would go outside and check on him. And I'm like, have you been petting that cat? And she's like looking at me. I was like, have you? It's okay. Go wash your hands. We don't know where it came from, sweetie. We don't know what it got. You better wash your hands. So she'd go outside, Come inside, wash your hands. 5 minutes later, go outside. Come inside, wash your hands. Jumping, going back and forth. I'm like, geez, girl. And she can't just like wash her hands. She has to like wash her hands and then make faces in the mirror and then probably like play with water for like 10 minutes. You know, I'm like, what are you doing in there?
That's adorable.
I'm like, why are all the towels wet? What's going on? Well, I was cleaning the counter. How are you cleaning? What? How are you cleaning the counter? I'm just cleaning the sink. How are you cleaning the sink? Well, I put the water in my hands like this, and then I've been throwing it on the counter like that. I'm like, babe, what? Oh,
That's hilarious.
Yep. Man, she's a hoot. So my wife, she was fighting me about that cat, and it was a good move on her part. Because I was like, I guess we got another cat. We'll just bring. It's hot out here. We'll just bring him inside. She's like, you're not bringing this cat inside the house. He's like, yeah, we'll just put him in our bathroom so we could find who owns him. We'll be fine. Good thing she had a friend that worked at a shelter for a while. I was like, it's 80 degrees out here. It's like hot. She's like, it's not over 100 is when you have to worry about them. The cats are fine. They're okay. How's the dress coming along, Hockey?
Slow, but it's getting there. That's what I'm working on now. So.
Did you put a date on that yet? That you had it? Or do you have a date in mind that you want to drop that?
I've got the plan. Well, on the campaign, the 1st of January, basically. Okay. So I do want to try and get it out early, but it's just I guess being the first one, I didn't realize how much it had consumed, like my life and other things were consuming me. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I'm going to nut this out. I'll get a page done a week. It'll be easy. But I'm barely lucky to get like 2 panels done a week, Oh. So it's just been such a slow process to get it done. And then other things have been coming up. Might not get to it for a while. So, there's been a lot of stuff that's been really hard for me to get it done. But it's my issues with time management. Mm-hmm. I have a really bad time management. So I'm there going, well, if I could manage my time better, I probably would have had it done by now. Mm-hmm. But it's getting there. I'm I've only done a few pages.
Because you're coloring it and lettering it too, aren't you?
Grayscale. So
yeah,
it's all lettered. A couple of changes. My wife is the editor, so she's given me some suggestions just for a couple of changes. But it's grayscaled. The whole thing is lettered. You've read it, haven't you?
I have not read it.
No. So
you did send it to me a long time ago, and I have not read it because I want to. I don't want to ruin it. I want to see the finished thing. To be honest.
So it's like I can give it to someone to read because I've done all the layouts, I've done all the lettering, I've done everything. All I'm doing now is cleaning it up. Mm-hmm. And
doing the finishes on
it. Yeah, right. That's it. So it's and I say that's taking a long time, but it's getting
one of the things that really helped me speed up my process was some advice that Jose Garcia posted. I don't see him posting very often. I know he's got his head down working, but he basically says that he approaches his work with a philosophy of doing whatever he can get done in the time that he's got. So, like, we might think I need to do a page a day, whereas he's like, okay, I've only got 2 hours. What can I do? I can get writing done, or I could ink this page, or I could letter this page. Like, just plotting how much time you have and then using that to what you can do the most with. And so I did that with Achromatic Chronicles, because there'd be some days where I only had an hour. That's not enough time for me to sit and pencil, but that's enough time for me to letter a whole page.
Mm-hmm.
At least I could get 2 pages, depending on how heavy it is, I at least get 2 or 3 pages lettered in an hour. So I would do that and not worry about the drawing until I had a larger block of time.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll do that. Like I might just not be in the right headspace to draw, but I can grace. I can, lay down flats. And go, that doesn't require much brain activity. So, but I'm still a learner, so I still class myself as someone who's learning to draw as well. So I'm very, I'm looking up references and I'm just checking. Yeah, okay. Does that look all right? Does it, my proportions correct and whatever like that. So.
I don't know if that ever ends, to be honest. I'm sure.
I don't think it does.
True. But
when I was in art school, the best advice I ever got was my freshman year teacher. He said, "No piece is ever finished. You just learn to stop before you screw it up."
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's never done, but you just got to know when to stop.
Yeah. I thought about going back, even like with this reprint of Berserker, the Ash Can. I'm going back and fixing a bunch of stuff, but I was like, nope, this is how it was. This is the way it's gonna be, and there you go. Pixel says he got to get back to lettering soon.
Yeah.
I need to speed up my painting techniques. That credits page isn't going to finish itself. So how many books do you know how many books you've done so far, Eric?
Well, in my past, starting in 2005, I did my first independent comics, and I just found a couple of boxes of those. They were all black and white, cartoony stuff. Mm-hmm. I did that till about 2008. 2009, I launched my first webcomic, Chad the Fat Kid. It was number 2 on Drunk Duck for a few weeks. So I had a pretty good viewership with that. And then I went into teaching. I did teaching for a little while. Came back and started doing the fan art thing to build up my career again. And then the first big book from that would be the Roddy Piper one. Just finished British Bulldog, so that's going to print soon. We'll have a Kickstarter up for that pretty soon too. And American Bliss. Just finished Achromatic Chronicles Green almost. I'm about a third of the way through Merkmaid, finished Cocaine Shark. Of course, doing the Dreaded Dinosaur Man webtoon, so starting to get a good body of work.
Yeah, man. I know that Achromatic Chronicles might be able to count as like 4 freaking books, man.
I know, right? And I'm so excited because when it gets launched, everybody's gonna. I did a cover for the first book because they're gonna do a catch up with Blue. So my covers are connecting covers.
Oh, nice.
So you get the blue character and the green character connecting cover. When red eventually comes out, that third one will connect. It'll be a whole big triptych. So that's going to be cool. I can't wait for people to see that.
I break my pencil in there. I hate it when your lead breaks inside the sharpener. I think is that it? No, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're all right. We're all right. Pixel says it's going to be a beautiful page once he finishes it.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pixel's got some chops. He's excellent at design. He's done sketch card designs for a number of people, trading card designs, and he's really good at that. He's a good artist, too. I want to see more Critical Snail. And then I got to kick each other's butt to do our own IPs. After Merkmaid's done, he's going to focus on Critical Snail.
Oh, nice.
He's focusing more on Dinosaur Man.
Yeah, it's in. If you want to pop on, I'd send you the link, but I don't think I'm going to be on much longer, Pixel, to be honest. And I said that probably about an hour ago. But yeah, let me know if you're ever down to stream. I'll just shoot you the link, man. I like this angle of this thing. One thing I gotta go, what I gotta go watch. I got a Donald Duck collection that came in, and it was missing the second number. No, I had we had a Donald Duck collection. It was like Volume 1 or Volume 2 at the store forever, and it was one of those things that we put on eBay just to kind of get rid of it. But it's been sitting there forever. So my guy who does the eBay stuff for me in the store, he took it down, and I was because I started collecting the old animation stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know we had some of those tins. Those are the ones that came in the tins. And I was like, I know we had some of those. Do we have any? He's like, oh, we only had that one left. I was like, oh, okay, man. We probably had the whole collection, and we sold them all on eBay for the store, and then used that to buy games and controllers and stuff that we needed. So he gave it to me, and it was Volume 2, Disc 2 of the Donald Duck that comes in the tin, the collection. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I was missing the first disc. I was like, all right, well, whatever. Well, let me see what was on the first disc. So I started Googling it, and the whole thing that started it was that me and Chad were talking about, we always end up talking about Epic Mickey and Mickey Mouse and Disney stuff when he's on. And we started talking about the Runaway Brain animation, the short animation that was done in like 95, 96. And when he was working on Epic Mickey, they wanted to do a stage based on Runaway Brain. And the Runaway Brain was where he gets his brains put into a Frankenpete body. And Frankenpete's brain is put into his body. And it was only shown in between like three like Goof Troop, A Kid in King Arthur's Court, and another movie, I think Angels in the Outfield or something. It was only shown before those three movies, and then they never showed it again because Mickey Mouse is like a freaking drooling monster. And Mickey's brain is in Pete's, so he's like this lumbering Pete body, but Mickey's voice being like Minnie, 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 and then Zombie Pete or Franken Pete in Mickey's body is trying to go get Minnie, and so because they portray him in that light, they kind of memory hole it, and they don't want to show it. It's really cool. It's like really good animation. So we was talking about it. I was like, I wonder if you can get it. Like, how can you have they ever showed it? It's like it's not on Disney Plus. It's not on anything. Like you just have to like find what it was on. Even like if you bought like the Goof Troop VHS and those movies that it was shown before in the theater, it's not on there. So I found that and I bought it, and it was in one of those collector, volume 1, 2, and 3 Mickey Mouse. So then I was like, do we have any Donald Duck? I was like, okay, what was on disc 1? So I Googled what was on disc 1. Disc 1 of the one that I have had all the World War II propaganda Donald Duck shorts.
Really?
Even the one where he's like has the Hitler mustache.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, I'm never gonna find this disc. I went on eBay, I found it for $15. So now I got the complete set. So me and the kiddo watched, this too. Before school. Those were some of the shorts I was putting on while she was eating her morning cereal. But I'm gonna have to watch the disc 1 on my own and see exactly what's on that one. But it has like cartoons on it, and then the extras is all the World War II little skits that he had. And I couldn't believe I got it for so cheap, because you can't find those. Like they're not on any streaming. They're not on anything.
Yeah, it's just like Song of the South. There's memory hole that too.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to think. I think Chad was telling me that Roy Jr. was going to do a re-release of that, and then they canned it. Well, now they're going to redo Frontierland. I guess they're going to tear it down in Disney World, and they're going to do like a Cars World or something instead.
Yeah.
And they turned the Splash Mountain into the Tiana ride now, or Princess and the Frog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comedy. It has some of the coolest animation. Like it is, and I think it was like the first Disney short that Mickey has been on the big screen since like the 60s or something. Was Runaway Brain. So he hasn't been on like the theater screen in a long time. Yeah, I'll rip them. I need a disk drive so I can do that. I got a portable one I got to plug in. Hopefully it still works. Yeah, those old ones, even that Mickey Mouse one was really cool. Just seeing all the old animation and stuff that they used to do. And even like the gags. The gags were just so funny and so creative. And there was always action. There was always cool action happening. Mickey Mouse used to be a G, man. It sucks that they kind of neutered him and made him the way he is. Well, he actually in the new cartoons, or I shouldn't say new, but like the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, those are pretty good. I like those a lot because they feel like the old cartoons. But he was always like doing adventures and stuff like that. And then they just like, no, he's just a suburban guy now. I'm like, what? Come on, man. I like it when he's always rascally, That's what gets him in trouble with Runaway Brain. He forgets it's their anniversary or something, and he's like, "Oh, he's been playing video games all day." And Minnie comes over and she's like, "Did you forget it's our anniversary, or is there a special date night or something for our anniversary?" And he's like, "Oh man, I got it." And he grabs, "I got it," and he grabs the paper and he's looking, and there's a little ad thing that says, "Oh, what was it, like something like, oh, massage or spa day, spa." He's like, "I got you this right here," and he hands her the paper where there's an ad for the spa, and then on the top of the page it says "trip to Hawaii." So she's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're taking me to Hawaii, Mickey," and he's like, "Oh, shit." So he goes, so then he's looking for a job, and then it has like, "Oh, lab assistant." So he goes to the lab, and that's what makes his brain switch because he's a slacker, and so he had to find some cash quick. And the lab, it's a monkey. That's the scientist guy, and he's voiced by the Kelsey Grammer does the voice for him.
Oh wow!
Cool. Yeah, it was pretty neat, and it's a shame that it's kind of been memory hold by Disney because they don't want anybody to see it. There's a lot of good stuff that's just like, I gotta find the Chip and Dale. There's one I'm looking for. that I grew up watching. It was a VHS that had Donald and Chip and Dale stuff on it. And the other ones, we've seen the other ones on Disney Plus, so it's cool, like sharing with my daughter, like the ones where Donald and Chip and Dale like are doing the whole thing's about popcorn, and they're like popping popcorn, or they got the one where they're riding the little train set, and Donald's like getting rid of their tree because it's not to the scale of the train set that he has in his backyard. But there was one where Donald's a lumberjack, and he's making flapjacks, and they keep stealing the flapjacks. And he chases them up the exhaust flue, and then when he gets to the top, you know, the little triangle hat at the top of the exhaust flue. You know, yeah. I've told the story tons of times. He goes up and he follows them, and when he gets to the top, that he hits that. And he has the little rice paddy hat. It looks like he's wearing a little rice paddy hat on. Oh, right. He has slanted eyes and big teeth, and it plays the little ding 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 ding. I can't find that one on Disney Plus. I don't think they got it.
Oh, wonder why.
I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Like what? Oh man. All right, Pixel. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Nice to see you.
See ya, boss.
See ya, mate.
He's saying that's Sebastian One Shot's calling his name.
Yeah, the little golden book idea.
Oh, that's cool. I thought I saw somebody else do one of those not too long ago. Or maybe I'm thinking of did Andy Smith do a core draft little golden book, or maybe he is doing one. I wonder who owns all of those now. Like, is it like is that publishing company still around, or is it like somebody else?
Mm-hmm. Some kind of resurging, because the comic book store that I went to has somebody doing something like that, only it's like the story of Jaws as a golden book. I haven't flipped through it yet, but there's like a bunch of modern properties in this kind of like golden book style.
You know, I think they're still around because I think my daughter has one. It's a Funko Pop Ninja Turtle book, but it's a little It's legit a little golden book.
Wow.
So I think I seen one of the Conans they came out with not so long ago had an alternate cover, but it was still a comic book. But now that I think about it, although I don't know how old that book is either, it's a very not intuitive book to read to be honest.
There's a book done. I want to get it. It's Call of Cthulhu, but it's done in bloody Dr. Zeus style.
Oh wow!
I so want to get that.
I think he had some really Dr. Seuss had some kind of bizarre artwork too. I think it was still whimsy, but still kind of dark. I can't remember if he released a book that was showing his other artwork.
Yeah. Before he went into kids stuff, I think he did political cartoons as well, and all that type of stuff. Man, he never really made it very big, and then all of a sudden he thought, "Oh, let's try this." When he was like 60 or something, and then made it big.
There you go.
I might break. So if you're wrapping it up,
it's a good time. It's 1:30 over here.
Yeah,
1:30 in the morning right now.
But I might go have something to eat or drink or something.
That sounds good. I'm probably gonna get a snack and go to bed, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. It was a blast. I had a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it was fun.
Yeah, we gotta do this more often. I'll see if I can stream again on Thursday or whenever. You know, I'll shoot you guys the link and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this was a good time, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I want to say thanks to Pixel for stopping by, and Luniverse always coming and hanging out. It's always nice to see you. K-pop, Jay Ryan, Thanks to Jason for coming in. Always nice to see Jason.
Yeah.
Next time, maybe he won't be so tired. I get it, dude. That's why I don't stream half the time. I'm like, I gotta wait till 10 o'clock. Nah. Well, now the kiddo goes to bed on time too. During the summer, it was a battle, but now she zonks out because she's so busy during the day that maybe I can kind of start streaming half an hour earlier. So, but I want to thank all you guys for coming and hanging out and all that good stuff.
When daylight saving will start here soon, and it'll finish for you, I believe. That's a 2-hour swing. So from when I'm available. So I think it works the fact that it'll be later. So it's just gone 3:30 now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be 5:30 when that. So and that's the time that I'll be going to make dinner and everything like that. So it gets a lot harder.
Courtney just came in. Sorry, Courtney. We're just about to wrap it up.
So things change. It gets a little bit trickier later on, but we'll figure it out. But if I'll be, thank you for having me on again. So good to see Courtney. I don't see Courtney for ages. It's good to see her.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone. If you are interested in seeing some of my stuff, go check out my book, Curiosities and Oddities Emporium, The Dress, about a woman who buys a dress, an old flapper dress, is teleported to the 1920s while wearing it, where she discovers a murder has happened and she tries to save the victim. It's on Indiegogo. Please go check it out. Little black and white 24-page book.
She says she needs a new portrait of her hockey.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to have to draw another one of you. But I did it in like 30 seconds, I think it was, this portrait of... It was terrible. Absolutely hideous.
Eric, go ahead and let's plug your stuff, bud.
Well, be looking out for Achromatic Chronicles Green, hopefully dropping next week. They'll be on Rip Ascend. And then, like I said, I finished up Cocaine Shark. It'll be lettered soon. Once that's lettered, it's going out to backers digitally. So everybody that backed the Little Mermaid book is going to get Cocaine Shark book first. So we're very happy about that. And my boy Darren Watts from the Fantastic Collection is going to be on John's Long Box this Thursday. So you'll learn firsthand from the man himself about that whole story. So
awesome.
That's what I got going on.
Cool. All my links are down below in the description. Second printing of Berserker is available for $8. Just click on the link. It'll take you right to the Mixam page. You can order it from there. Also got a Ko-Fi account. Check that out. $8 a month. You can become a doodle bug, and I will send you a piece of artwork every month there. And you're helping me fund the future books that I'm doing. That's it. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Night, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I gotta play an outro. Huh? I have not done this in so long. I'm like, ugh. There we go. Night, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.